Und von dem her, ja, heute hier zu stehen und die ganzen Jungs zu sehen, die Teams wieder zu sehen, im 5. Jahr. Wir haben hier angefangen als Fremde, mittlerweile trifft man sich wieder als Freunde und das ist eine tolle Sache.
Ihr habt wieder mal anders aufgebaut, ihr habt wieder mal für 2018 den Platz noch mal etwas besser gestaltet, den Ausstellern, die auch immer zahlreicher kommen, mehr Möglichkeiten gegeben. Ich habe gerade mal unten in die Arena geschaut, auch da ist es brechend voll. Ist es auch wichtig für euch, für den ADAC, der das Ganze hier veranstaltet, zu sehen, dass wir jedes Jahr noch etwas drauflegen können, dass auch das Interesse bei den Herstellern, bei den Ausstellern immer größer wird?
Ja, ganz klar, die Entwicklung im E-Sport, die Welle trägt uns natürlich jetzt auch ein bisschen mit. Wir waren vor der E-Sport-Welle schon hier am Start, haben so gewartet, wann kommt denn die Welle von hinten? Sie kam. Die trägt uns natürlich auch ein wenig mit und von dem her sehen wir in diesem Jahr wieder den Fortschritt, den wir gemacht haben. Ist nicht einfach, jedes Jahr wieder einen draufzulegen, vor allem kostet es Geld. An der Stelle haben wir letztes Jahr eine Entscheidung getroffen, mit der Agentur Covana zusammenzuarbeiten. Ich glaube, man sieht, dass das Ganze Früchte getragen hat. Auch wenn ich an der Stelle nochmal einen herzlichen Dank an den Norman Simon für die ersten 4 Jahre sagen muss. Auch das war am Anfang sehr, sehr gut. Aber wir haben mit Covana hier die richtige Entscheidung getroffen. Wir haben 26 Aussteller am Start. Wir haben mit Porsche wieder einen wunderbaren Hauptsponsor, weitere Sponsoren mit Rensa und BenQ und ich bin einfach happy.
Aber wenn du als einer, der es wissen muss, das Thema Finanzen direkt ansprichst, wir werden größer, wir entwickeln uns und alles kostet Geld, müssen wir, glaube ich mal, euch, stellvertretend dir, du stehst auf der Bühne, ein Dankeschön sagen, weil auch 2018 alle 3 Tage, wir gehen erstmalig über 3 Tage oder 2,5, ist auch wieder der Eintritt frei.
Ja, schweren Herzens. Nein, unsere Hoffnung ist natürlich trotzdem, dass die vielen Fans, die hier sind, sich es nicht entgehen lassen, am Wochenende die wundervolle Blancpain GT Series Finale auch zu schauen und dafür als Community 19 € für ein Wochenendticket auszugeben. Wenn uns das gelingt, dann haben wir auch da eine Einnahme und dann bieten wir gerne hier den E-Sport weiterhin kostenfrei.
Also SimRacing machen der Olli Mazzini und meine Wenigkeit ja einmal im Jahr. Wir sind da ja rangeführt worden dank eurer Veranstaltung. Aber meine Frage von uns beiden an dich. Wo können wir uns denn dieses Jahr darüber freuen? Erklär uns mal, was haben wir bis Sonntagabend für Programmpunkte? Was haben wir eventuell aus eurer Sicht für Highlights, die wir erwarten können?
Also für mich persönlich ist sicherlich die Porsche SimRacing Trophy, die bisher ADAC SimRacing Trophy hieß, jetzt Porsche SimRacing Trophy. Das absolute Highlight am Samstagabend mit dem Finale. Man muss sagen, das Ganze, ich will nicht sagen, hat einen Arcade-Modus, aber einen sehr hohen Glücksfaktor. Anders als das GT500 am Sonntag, wo man sehr konstant fahren muss, haben wir mit dem Viertelfinale, mit dem K.O.-Modus natürlich einen Modus, der die Zuschauer mitreißt, wo am Ende nicht unbedingt der Beste gewinnen muss, aber der am nervenstärksten ist und das ist mein Highlight. Wir haben aber dieses Jahr auch den ADAC Digital Cup dabei, wo zum allerersten Mal echte Motorsportler gegeneinander antreten, 12 Ortsclubs. Hier kämpfen der MSC Adenau und der MSC Birkenfeld um den Titel. Die sind um 2 Punkte getrennt. Das wird morgen Vormittag hier stattfinden. Die geben sich nichts. Also auch da eine neue Entwicklung auf Assetto Corsa. Am Sonntagmorgen sehen wir auch mal die Nordschleife hier. Da treten 10 Fahrer gegeneinander an. Und natürlich der schöne Abschluss ADAC GT500. Und jeder, der mal einen Blick in die Arena hinter mir geworfen hat, der sieht auch, wie geil das ist, was die Jungs da drüben machen.
Ja, das ist ja zum einen, du hast es gesagt, diese tollen Wettkämpfe, die es gibt, die natürlich auch toll am Livestream zu sehen sind. Aber es lohnt sich auch hier hinzukommen, diese Battles gegeneinander zu schauen. Denn auch zusätzlich gibt es so viel zu sehen, die ganzen Aussteller. Jeder hat sein Equipment dabei, Hardware, Software, es gibt neue Lenkräder, neue Konsolen, neue Software. Auch das lohnt sich. Ich denke mal, jeder lässt auch mal die Gäste, die Zuschauer auch dann mal ran an seinen Simulator.
Absolut. Und das Schöne ist, dass die Hersteller der Lenkräder, der Pedalerien, der Simulation mittlerweile wirklich für die SimRacing Expo neue Produkte bringen, sie hier präsentieren und jeder das tatsächlich vor Ort ausprobieren kann und sicherlich auch einen Slot findet, wo die Stände auch mal frei sind. Und ja, kann nur jedem empfehlen, morgen hier vorbeizukommen und den Tag bei schönem Wetter auf der Grand Prix-Strecke und im Boulevard zu genießen.
Was ja auch so eine tolle Sache ist in Sachen Simracing, es kommt immer mehr so dieser Zusammenschluss zum sogenannten echten Motorsport. Zum einen viele Simracer, die dann den Schritt schaffen in den echten Motorsport, sei es aktuell ein Fabio Corse, ein Florian Strauß, alles bekannte Namen, aber auch andersrum. Viele Profifahrer, die sich Strecken einprägen wollen, neue Strecken kennenlernen, aber auch so Konzentrationstraining und so weiter. Ich denke mal, das ist auch ganz wichtig, dieser Zusammenschluss kommt immer mehr.
Ja, also für mich ist Simracing eigentlich gar kein E-Sport, sondern für mich ist Simracing eine weitere Art Motorsport, weil wir ganz klar sehen, dass die Jungs, die besten Simracer, können sofort in ein Rennauto einsteigen und sind da gut. Ich habe das selber bei Deutschland sucht den Super Racer gesehen. Ich war Instruktor in Ascari dieses Jahr, da waren die Top 3 Finalisten. Ich bin mit denen auf die Strecke gefahren, die sind so gefahren, als ob sie ihr Leben lang noch nichts anderes gemacht haben. Der Tim Heinemann, der Sieger der ersten beiden Jahre der ADAC SimRacing Trophy, saß letzte Woche im GT3 Mercedes in Spanien, er hat super performt. Also, und aber auch andersrum, dass die Jungs aus dem Motorsport ins Simracing einsteigen.
Ja, und da müssen wir gar nicht lange warten. Heute Abend werden wir schon 4 Piloten vom Grasser Racing Team sehen, die am Wochenende auf dem Grand Prix des Nürburgring starten in der Blancpain Series. Vielleicht mal einen Satz von dir dazu. Musstest du die Jungs überreden oder kommen die gerne?
Ja, die jungen Fahrer, die sind es gewohnt, im Simulator zu sitzen und die kriegt man aus den Dingern, aus den Kisten am Ende des Tages auch nicht mehr raus. Und da haben wir ein Programm-Highlight heute Abend, wo die 4 gegeneinander antreten, vor allem wo wir hier das neue Assetto Corsa Competizione Blancpain GT Series, offizielles Game, dann auch heute Abend hier sehen können und eine tolle Produktpräsentation erleben.
Also Olli, das klingt doch schon vielversprechend. 2,5 Tage von Freitag bis noch Sonntagabend. SimRacing Expo vom ADAC 2018 mit einer waschechten Premiere. Heute hier auf der Bühne das Ganze um 19 Uhr. Und da sind wir auch weltweit im Livestream zu empfangen. Ansonsten schauen wir uns gleich mal um, wen ihr alles eingeladen habt. Ich denke mal, wir können dann auch mit der Kamera an die einzelnen Stände gehen, alte Bekannte begrüßen, vielleicht neue Leute, die 2018 mit dabei sind. Olli.
Ja, und da wir ja weltweit aufgestellt sind mit Livestream, a few words in English. I would also say a very warm welcome to all our international spectators and fans, and please join it and you will have a lot of fun here at the Nürburgring at this SimRacing Expo. If you're not too far away, please come to the Nürburgring or plan it, for example, for next year. One thing is sure, I think we will see the SimRacing Expo also in 2019, or not?
Well, for sure we will see next year here. And just one point to mention that we have the free practice in a few minutes and we will see parts of the free practice. Those 40 drivers which qualified, there have been 40 drivers in 0.3 seconds. So it will be really close and I think the competition will be even much more interesting than last year and I hope for even a better 2019.
Ja, so viel also auch das schon mal klar. Es wird wirklich ganz, ganz spannend werden gleich. Die Competitions werden allesamt sehr spannend, sehr eng werden. Wir werden uns 2019 definitiv auch sehen. Aber jetzt haben wir erstmal 2018, Lars.
Wollte gerade sagen, hat gerade angefangen, das geht noch bis Sonntagabend. Und über eine Sache können wir uns nachher zumindest so richtig wie alten Racer, die früheren Zeiten mitgemacht haben, auch noch freuen. Wir werden eine richtige Legende hier begrüßen können heute. Der wird uns heute mal ein wenig unterstützen. Kommentiert seit vielen, vielen Jahren für die Briten, kommentiert er die Formel 1, ist selber in einer Zeit Formel 1 gefahren, als Sex noch sicher gewesen ist und die Formel 1 war sehr gefährlich. John Watson, ich freue mich riesig drüber. Schön, dass ihr alle hier seid. Ich hoffe, es wird voll am Wochenende. Und klasse, dass der Mann bei uns in der Mitte, Marc Henneritzi, stellvertretend für sein komplettes Team, die das hier 2018 auf die Beine gestellt haben und stellen werden, mal ein paar Minuten Ruhe hatte und Zeit für uns gefunden hat. Danke, Marc.
Danke euch.
Ja, dann melden wir uns gleich mit dem Blick von den ersten Ständen, von den ersten Gelegenheiten hier im Ringboulevard am Nürburgring. Bis gleich.
Ja, und ich werde mich gleich mal umschauen. Olli Martini. Ja, wir sind genau. Dass seine Karriere aufhört, sollte er nicht gewinnen.
Du machst jetzt mit dem Klaus Walker, Musikarea und bleibst erstmal beim Lars.
Nee, wird schon.
Ich bin nachher um 17:15 Uhr hier dran. Für diese Rumlaufen haben wir andere Mikros.
Jenny hat jetzt warum auch immer auf 16 Uhr vorgestellt. Keine Ahnung. Hat sie dir das wohl auch gesagt?
Ja, aber wir brauchen den 7 definitiv da.
Ja. Ich habe auch gesagt, ich habe keine Ahnung, wie du da drauf kommst, weil es immer um 7 Uhr war.
Ja.
Das Einzige, was halt um 16 Uhr stattfindet, ist halt, dass es losgeht. Generell halt.
Ja.
Aber kein Sektempfang.
Nee.
Wo willst du den Sektempfang haben? Und wo ist
Genau.
in der
Da einfach, oder?
Achso, das weiß sie aber.
Ja, schon da, genau.
Die Fahrer.
Nee, die Jungs, die ausschicken, die stehen ja schon da.
Achso, ja.
Der eine kann definitiv nicht, aber da muss halt einer vom Hinten stehen. Wenn jetzt nochmal 2,50 € mehr kostet, ist halt so.
Und um ab Punkt 19 Uhr oder vorher.
Ja, die sollen jetzt das Stehverhalten, da sollen halt bis 20:30 da bleiben.
Hast du den wohl schon?
Habe ich verstanden. Ich muss mich nach einem Ordner organisieren. Alles klar, Dankeschön. Auch schon nach Rennen sortiert, das ist ja das Wichtige. Weil mir geht es darum, dass ich weiß, wer morgen zu welchem Rennen schon an. Also das, weil das wisst ihr ja bestimmt schon. Oder nicht? Richtig. Weil das habe ich mir alles schon ausgedruckt, so ist es nicht. Also ich habe das alles schon dabei, das ist die Fahrerinfos. Ich muss nur wissen, wer an welchem Rennen da ist, damit ich das abgleichen kann, wann ich kommentiere. Klar, alles andere wäre krass.
Oder beziehungsweise hier kriegst du eins.
Achtung. Achtung, Achtung, man könnte auch sagen, Achtung Fahrerlager, Achtung Boxengasse. Für das erste Practice, für das Viertelfinale der Porsche Trophy bitten wir die ersten Fahrer, sich bitte an den Simulatoren einzufinden. Attention Pits, attention Paddock, for the Porsche Trophy, for the practice, we need all the drivers at the simulators. Also, namentlich Maximilian Bennecke, Lukas Jestedt, Laurin Heinrich, Mitchell de Jong, Michele Recci, Gregory Ternsen, Jonas Wallmeier, Marco Mercalia, Patrick Pichler und Sebastian Schmallenbach. Bitte die erste der 4 Fahrerpaarungen für die Porsche Trophy fürs Training an den Simulatoren einfinden. zum Abgeracer.
Fangen wir mit einem Spieler schon an, oder was? Jo.
Auf der ADAC SimRacing Expo sind wir seit 5 Jahren mittlerweile zuverlässiger Partner. Wir sagen schön, dass ihr hier seid. Wir werden uns später immer noch mal vorne an der Bühne sehen. Ich gehe später zum nächsten Programmpunkt, aber jetzt erst einmal zurück zur Regie.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ADAC SimRacing Expo 2018. This is the international coverage. Myself and Connery Maddock, we're going to be taking you part through the next couple of hours. We've got Jake Sperry as well as Scott Fountain, who'll be doing some work with us a little bit later on. The way we're going to be doing things today is quite simple. There are going to be 4 practice sessions. Each of them are going to last 20 minutes around this Nürburgring sprint track. And Connery, of course, the drivers, they qualified into this by racing at home. And now they're in a situation where they've got to all use exactly the same equipment, and they've got to basically show what they are worth.
Yeah, it's a completely different environment. Well, at home, you've got all your creature comforts. You've got the pedals you've raced with for years, the wheel that you're very, very used to as well. Some of these guys, this is a huge far cry from what they have at home. For example, I just have my wheel, a single screen. These guys have some pretty decent rigs up on the stage here with the triple screen setup as well. Some of them might not be used to that.
Triple monitors, they've all got themselves motion cockpits, and you can see there's a little bit of movement in there as well. Qualifying, well, practice even, that is taking place. As I say, we're about 7.5 minutes into this first session, and Max Beneke, he is the driver who is leading the way right now, with a time of 1:27.991. And Connor, just having a look back at the times that the drivers did to qualify into this, Beneke did a 1:26.97. Now, it's worth noting that these drivers, when they're qualifying at home, they are used to their setup. They race them day in and day out. So this is a different environment for them.
Yeah, exactly. They'll also take a little bit of time to get up to speed in this one as well. So we might not see these blistering qualifying times that we've had in the pre-qualifying for this, but that was Maximilian Beneke topping the charts in the qualifying to get into this series, and he's also topping the timing boards as well right now in the practice session. And we've got Patrick Kuchler in there as well, coming up to about a second behind on the practice times right now. And we're in this sort of situation where I don't know if we can read too much into the practice times. Maybe they're just going a little bit easy right now before they go all out in the session qualifying.
Yeah, indeed so. And it's worth noting he was all the way down in the 36th position at the time. In that number 2 machine, as the first in many of the online series on iRacing here, the official series will be hosted.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another element that's going to be changing for these guys. This short layout of the Nürburgring GP circuit isn't that commonly used in terms of the league racing that we have go on iRacing. So again, it's another thing that they have to get used to, but these guys are on the top of their game. They're the top caliber drivers, so some of the top caliber drivers that we have. So I think they'll be up to speed very, very quickly.
Yeah, checking in with Jonas Warmeyer. He's 2.6 seconds in that number 28 car behind Max Beneke, heading himself down past the start finish line in towards turn number 1. And I have to say, the amount of production work that's going on for this event has both blown us away. So we've actually got a RacePop friend, Tobias, who's actually doing the camera work for this one. But the production values for this are just insane. And it really shows how iRacing as a kind of esport is really breaking into that market. Third year
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and I think we can see this as a sign of things to come as well, with how much effort has been put in to this production. We've got a really fancy setup here in the commentary booth. We've got on towards our left-hand side of the stage, there's the whole production crew as well. They've got the whole multicam feed, they got the in-game feed, they got the graphics that we ended up providing as well. Yeah. So it's just a huge effort from everyone. It just shows where sim racing can go if we really, really keep at it.
Mitchell de Jong, number 14, VRS, co-owner Sim Sports. 2.2 back right now from Beneke, who continues to have the fastest time. Now, it's interesting, as de Jong goes over the curb pretty heavily there, down at the chicane as he now comes down into the Coca-Cola curve. Let's see if he's going to improve his time, actually, as he exits that final corner. Now, he's got a car right behind him as they come past the start-finish line. Mitchell de Jong, let's see if that's going to go green, and the answer is no, it's not. So de Jong will stay in 4th place, but a lot of that was down to the way he took a lot of curve down this chicane.
Yeah, exactly. The car wasn't completely settled coming through that particular corner, and you really need to maximize your exit off of the Coca-Cola curve to get yourself that run towards the line. It's a short run towards the line out the final corner here, but in racing conditions, out of that final corner and down into turn number 1 is where you're going to make most of your moves.
Michel Rishi in the number 18 car was right behind him. Look at that, he went to the outside in that 10 Barbanara racing car. Looked to the outside, and the thing is, he's lost his lap as a consequence. The question I want to ask you though, Connery, is are these drivers looking for raw pace, or are they just looking for a bit of consistency and just trying to get used to the handling of these rigs?
I think with the nature of the racing, especially like we have in the Porsche SimRacing Trophy, it's sprint races. You've got to go 100% out of the starting blocks every single lap. It's a different case for the GT500, which we have on Sunday. But for this type of event, I think you need to just get on the pace, do those qualifying pace laps, and just go all out in the race as well.
Jonas Warmeyer is up into the 3rd position. That number 28 car is now 1.16 back from Max Benecke, as we've got ourselves now 7.5 minutes of this first free practice session in the books. As I said earlier, there's going to be 4 sessions today. They are each going to last 20 minutes, and that will give all of the drivers the opportunity to get some times in. Right now, in terms of the fastest times of the day, it's Max Benecke, 1:27.991. Patrick Pichler in 2nd place. 3rd is Jonas Warmeyer, as... Well, we've just lost our timing feed there. I can actually turn over to this. Lucas Jestak in 4th place. Mitchell de Jong in 5th. Michelle Ritchie in 6th. Lauren Heinrich, Mika McKellar in P7 and P number 8. Gregory Tanton hasn't yet set a lap time. As you can see, it's back on our screen. Thank you very much for production, guys, there, Conway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as you said, we're still waiting for a time for the driver of the number 25, Gregory Tanson. Hopefully he can get one in before the session ends, as he might even be struggling a little bit with how the sim rig is working for him. So hopefully he can get that one resolved and get into the swing of things relatively quickly. As it is a quite close times at the front of the field there. You've got Max Benecke, Patrick Pichler, only about 0.2 of a second apart at this stage. So I think that's going to set the stage pretty well for the racing here today, if everyone's going to be that close.
Warmeyer's coming back into the pit, so let's go turn our attention over to 18 machine of Michelle Ritchie once again, exiting the NGK chicane, heading towards Coca-Cola curve. Let's have a look at him. He's going to take the car in a tight apex into the corner, wind it out on the outside of the corner at the end. Mitchell de Jong up into 3rd place, exactly the same time as Jonas Warmeyer, so that's an interesting one. Let's have a look at Michelle Ritchie, as Benecke goes even faster, 1:27.452. No improvement there for Michelle Ritchie, but 2 things worth noting. A, Benecke even faster. He's now 3/4 of a second faster than anyone else. But also, look at how close the times are between de Jong and Warmeyer all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly. We've got them as, 1.698 and 1.699 seconds on the timing, both doing around about 1 minute 29.150 and 151 for Jonas Warmeyer as well. And it's going to be absolutely brilliant racing once we get to tomorrow, if those guys are going to stay as close as they are in this practice session. But Maximin Benecke, he's just absolutely stamped his authority on this session right now. He's up to speed very, very quickly, which is what we can expect from a driver who has 10,000 iRating, which is the highest road iRating driver in the entire iRacing service.
Well, this is a good look, as we're having a look now. This is what a viewer would see on iRacing. If you are actually inside the car, this would be the kind of view that you would have. Through the NGK chicane then for Gregory Tanson in the number 25 machine, as he's now got 1 corner, that's the Coca-Cola curve. Let's see if he can actually now get himself up a position into, well, anywhere, because he's not actually set himself a lap time yet. Past the start-finish line, he will come. In fact, that's actually Michelle Ritchie we're looking on board with right now. So I'll take that one back, and he does actually set a faster time than he's done previously today. The gap has started to close itself down a little bit, but there's still, really, I'd say 2 groups here. You've got P1 down to about P number 6 now, actually, because we've had a mover.
Yeah, exactly, and as things do chop and change, we've got a live feed of one of the drivers out there on circuit. I believe that one, if I'm correct, that would be, looks like Mitchell de Jong.
That's de Jong, yeah. You can see the red ball hats.
This is the exact kind of rig that these guys have for this event, full motion rig, triple screens, as well as equipment, wheels and pedals provided to us by our partners here at the Sim Racing Expo. And it's absolutely brilliant to see this sort of feed and this sort of, you can see how hard the drivers are working. And I will be really excited to see this come the race, because when they're side by side, you can see how stressful that some drivers can be about this.
Yeah, we've got 5 minutes left of this session. And one of the things I noticed there, you've got some drivers who have elected, I believe, for the BMW rim.
Yeah.
Some drivers who have elected for the Formula rim on this Fanatec wheelbase. And that's the cool thing about Fanatec, is that you basically buy the base and then you can choose what kind of wheel you want to have. Do you want to have the kind of Formula wheel, which it's a bit more reactive, shall we say, more for Grand Prix racing, but a lot of people do use it in GT, or do you like the big, chunky, more kind of GT style wheel?
Of course, if you want to be more of a traditionalist, you would go for the GT style wheel for this sort of event. But some drivers, the best part about sim racing is that you can choose, the equipment that you use on your sim rig. Of course, a little bit more lockdown in this sort of situation. But if you do want to race with a Formula wheel on a GT car, that option is completely open to you.
And also, if you are here this weekend at SimRacing Expo, you can actually go to the iRacing store, and they have a very special treat. For the first time ever in public, you can test out iRacing's new AI feature.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had to go myself as well, and safe to say I'm kind of horrible at them. So much so that Jake Sperry was actually a little bit better than me.
No.
Yeah, it's. I should really work on it. I should come back tomorrow and just get those laps in against the AI, and we'll see. We'll see where that ends up.
Looking again at Mitchell de Jong. He's looking as though he's trying to go faster, but right about there. Let's see. Is he going to stay? No, he's going to start losing time as he comes down into the chicane. You can see on the screen it's about 300ths of a second, but he gains a little bit, and we just cut away.
Yeah, I believe we had Jonas Warmeyer that was off there. He's getting himself back to the pits and getting himself back out of the pit lane as well. As we only have a couple of minutes left of this session. As we'll see the replay of Jonas Warmeyer. Oh, that's a big moment there coming down into right-hander. Hits the tire barrier as well. So that, for all intents and purposes, is going to be the end of his session because we've only got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. So he won't be able to get around and do another lap.
Mikko Malakila is up into second place. 5.5 tenths of a second behind Max Benecke. I believe that, in fact, de Jong did not improve. So when we cut away from him, he didn't improve that time. But Benecke, again, fastest of the day. 127.267. Got the chart up there, up to 220 kilometers an hour, 230. 240 almost before Lucas Chestak, and he heads himself down into Mercedes-Benz Arena turn number 1. And Chestak's right now in 4th place, by the way, and he's about 1.2 back from the next one.
Yeah, exactly. He's got about 37 seconds left in the session as he comes towards the end of the Mercedes Arena. Just make sure you get that car slowed down. We can ride the curve as much as you want all the way through. They're careful not to track out on this particular corner of the road, the right-hander. If you track out a little bit too much, it can give you a 1x. And in iRacing, that means you get 1 instant point and your lap is invalid.
Yeah, it's completely gone. You don't get any second chances, but stay on the track the entire way around. Almost at the end of the first of our 4 practice sessions today at the ADAC SimRacing Expo 2018 here live from the legendary Nürburgring. Time has expired, so the laps that these drivers are on, this is going to be it for them. And in terms of how the field stand is Benecke, who has got himself, the fastest time so far, 127.267. Then you got yourself Nico Vettel in second place, Patrick Hitchner in third, Lucas Chestak in 4th, Gregory Tanson, Lloyd Heinrich, Mitchell de Jong, Jonas Warmeyer, and Michelle Ritchie rounds out your field. And final thoughts from this first session, Connery.
Oh, it's just been an absolutely an interesting session. I think we've seen what we kind of expected to see in terms of Maximilian Benecke being at the top of the timings of the scoring board. Mikko Melkler, though, very, very good performance in this particular session, getting himself P number 2. Pichler up there as well. Lucas Yetzau, who we saw the start of the lap, his final lap, just going on right there, and unfortunately he still stays P number 4, which it could still be a good result considering the strength of this particular session.
Well, that is the first of our practice sessions in the books. Thank you so much for being a part of this part of the coverage. Going to hand it back now to the moderators, to the stage here at SimRacing Expo. Yeah.
natürlich auch tolle Bilder hier, die wir gerade gesehen haben. Dank an unseren Kameramann auch sowas gehört. Natürlich zum Motorsport dazu. Und da haben wir natürlich auch die echten Crit Girls und keine Simulations-Crit Girls, gehört dazu. Ne? Wir haben hier KTM Expo Battle, auch das ein toller Fight, werden wir auch dann im Laufe des Wochenendes uns das intensiv mal anschauen, mal genau betrachten, was es da gibt, was da alles los ist. Viele, viele interessante Aussteller, sei es Wave Italy, sei es hier auf der anderen Seite die Firma SimKit, die natürlich ihre Produkte hier präsentieren. Hier Teichmann Racing, die haben natürlich diesen tollen Wettkampf, diesen Battle, da hatten wir eben schon mal mit dem Marc Hennerizzi drüber gesprochen. Wer sich da im Endeffekt durchsetzt, der hat dann die Chance, nächstes Jahr vielleicht praktisch in diesem Auto hier oder in diesem dann eine komplette Saison vom VLN zu fahren oder eine komplette Saison im KTM Crossbow. Das sind natürlich alles Sachen, die diesen Zusammenschluss haben zwischen echtem Motorsport und Simracing. Auch das hat der Marc Hennerizzi eben ja schon mal angedeutet. Das ist im Prinzip mittlerweile ein Ineinandergreifen Zahnräder von beiden, sagen wir mal, Bereichen. Hauptsponsor der ADAC SimRacing Expo 2018 ist Porsche. Da sind wir jetzt hier am Stand. Porsche hat nicht nur hier einen wirklich original 911er Porsche hier stehen. Nein, man kann natürlich auch hier Simulationen fahren und das durfte ich letztes Jahr auch mal machen, dann im Porsche zu sitzen, hat dann diese praktisch 3D-Perspektive. Man meint wirklich, man sitzt im Auto und man meint auch, man ist auf der Rennstrecke unterwegs und das macht es auch sehr, sehr interessant. Wir hören auch richtig geilen Sound da rauskommen. Also wer jetzt im Livestream zuschaut, kommt mal hoch zum Nürburgring, meldet euch hier bei Porsche am Stand und dann könnt ihr gerne mal sagen, hier, ich würde auch mal gerne testen und mach mal so eine Runde hier im Original Porsche sitzen. Wer kann schon mal im Original Porsche sitzen und kann um Nürburgring fahren und kann, wie er jetzt hier, der Kollege, das Ding mal mit Schmackes in die Leitplanken setzen. Ja, das Gute beim Simracing, da drückt man einfach Steuerung Alt entfernen oder Escape oder wie auch immer und kann dann im Prinzip einen neuen Versuch starten. Motion House ist vor Ort mit ihren Produkten und viele, viele Teams natürlich, die auch da sind, viele Fahrer, die hier sich blicken lassen, international aufgestellt. Das ist auch ein Thema, was wir schon immer angesprochen hatten. Die SimRacing Expo in Sachen Simracing, eine der mittlerweile größten Competitions. Wir sehen auch hier einen Mitarbeiter von Porsche in seinem Simulator. Und das ist einer, den kenne ich auch ganz gut, der fährt auch VLN. Der ist original im Rennsport dabei und sagt einer, kommt aus dem Simracing-Bereich und hat dann irgendwann mal den Sprung geschafft in Richtung VLN. Das ist der Thomas Bienert, der jetzt hier einfach mal ein bisschen probiert zu fahren. Thomas Kiefer natürlich, sorry. So, dann gehen wir mal ein bisschen weiter hier. Was haben wir noch alles an Ausstellern? JCL SimRacing werden wir auch nachher noch ein bisschen intensiver uns anschauen. Viele interessante Aussteller. R-Factor 2, eine der Simulationen, die natürlich auch sehr, sehr bekannt sind. Wir haben die Firma Simtech mit dabei, die hier ihre Produkte ausschauen mit 3D-Brille. Das ist natürlich auch ein ganz cooles Gefühl, durfte ich letztes Jahr auch mal machen, mit 3D-Brille zu fahren. Da muss ich echt sagen, wenn man das nicht gewohnt ist, wird es einem schon ein bisschen schwindelig und ein bisschen durcheinander im Kopf. Aber ja, für die echten Racer ist das natürlich eine coole Sache. Da sehen wir auch dann so Fahrer, die das nutzen. Vanina X oder Norbert Michelitz ist ja auch einer, der Norbert Michelitz, einer der ja bekanntesten Simracer, die dann den Sprung geschafft haben in den echten Motorsport, seit vielen Jahren in der WTCC unterwegs. Dann schauen wir mal ein bisschen weiter hier in den Mittelgang hier. Ihr seht es ist wirklich jetzt schon für Freitag sehr, sehr viel Betrieb, sehr viel los. Tornet ist vorhanden, stellt ihre Produkte vor. Wir haben den Mittelgang da hinten, Weser mit einem riesengroßen Stand, Fanatec natürlich auch vertreten. Wir haben die Firma ImSim Official, die natürlich hier auch ihre Racing-Simulation mit präsentieren und wirklich viel geboten. Hier ein Stand, wo auch Fanatec seine Produkte genau darstellt. Wir sehen wunderbar diese kompletten Konsolen, die da sind, mit diesen gebogenen Screens, mit den gebogenen Monitoren. Alles natürlich Faktoren, die dazu beitragen, dass wir hier ein interessantes, tolles Gesamtpaket haben. Nicht nur diese tolle Competition auf der Bühne, sondern halt auch dieses ganze Drumherum, was wirklich diese Einzigartigkeit der SimRacing Expo ausmacht. Viele Fans sind hier gekommen. Ich greife mir jetzt einfach mal rein, hier zwei. Komm, nicht so schüchtern. Von wo kommst du?
Von Kellberg.
Okay, ist jetzt nicht so weit, aber kommst mit großer Freude, weil du selber auch SimRacing machst.
Ja, mit ein bisschen weniger beruflich, aber ansonsten immer wenn die Zeit da ist, gerne. Macht immer sehr viel Spaß. Ja.
Und diejenigen, die jetzt am Livestream zuschauen, dann kannst du den Tipp geben, kommt hoch zum Nürburgring.
Auf jeden Fall. Die Hersteller machen nicht mehr.
Demnächst nochmal. Ne? Ja, wunderbar. Also wie gesagt, viele Leute, die hier hinkommen. Der Kollege habe ich schon gerade gehört, der arbeitet hier aber mehr mit das passt für die ist kein Problem gegen zu kommen. Aber natürlich ist es auch für viele Gäste haben, aber auch weitere Umgebung. Toller Event hier zum Nürburgring zu kommen. Hier, wie gesagt, nochmal diese Gesamtbühne mit den Simulatoren und dann hier Fanatec, die haben natürlich schon auch ihre Produkte mit dabei, Assetto Corsa, Kompetitionen, das ist natürlich ein Thema, das viele mit Sicherheit auf dem engeren Programm haben oder auf dem Thema stehen haben. Da werden wir nachher noch eine größere Vorschau haben, größeres Intermezzo mal zu schauen, was es da in Sachen Assetto Corsa alles so gibt. Fanatec, natürlich Hersteller der Lenkräder, auch da werden wir intensiv mal reingehen und werden uns mal die ganzen einzelnen Produkte ein bisschen intensiver anschauen. Kollege hat bei ihm schon im Interview, Actoracer, die natürlich hier seit vielen Jahren mit dabei sind, auch eine schöne Sache in Sachen SimRacing Expo. Die Aussteller, die seit vielen Jahren dabei sind und dann auch der SimRacing Expo treu bleiben. SimLab, Racing Simulator Products mit dabei, aus den Niederlanden extra hier rübergekommen, die aber auch gesagt haben, wir sind dabei, wir wollen auch hier unsere Produkte zeigen. Auch da werden wir natürlich intensiv uns mal die ganzen Sachen anschauen, werden am Morgen mal in aller Ruhe uns mit den Produkten beschäftigen. Hier sind wir bei der Firma Visaro, die haben, den würde ich mal sagen, fast größten Stand hier aufgebaut. Auch hier können wir sehen, mein Kollege, der Willi, mit der Kamera, der geht schon mal dahin. Wir sehen hier die Kämpfer auch in Sachen Nordschleife. Und wie das am Vibrieren ist hier. Der Kollege, der hat auch eine Virtual Reality Brille auf. Auch eine coole Sache, VR-Headset. Und ja, wunderbar zu sehen. Und alleine vom Zuschauen denke ich mir schon mal, dass man da wirklich fast original an der Nordschleife mit dabei ist. Also Visaro Package. Tolle Sache, die man hier aufgebaut hat. Insgesamt, wie viel haben die jetzt hier? 4 Simulatoren und hier, das ist das auch ein Simulator, da muss ich mal genau schauen, der Lars steht schon hier. Da kann man sogar im Formelauto sitzen, oder?
Ja, da kann man sogar sehen, wie autonomes Fahren funktioniert. Das Ding bewegt sich, du kannst links davon auf der Strecke quasi das rote Formelauto sehen, die Simulation, das Live-Bild, da fährt man ins Spa-Francorchamps und das Fahrzeug bewegt sich ganz alleine, das ist irre.
Coole Sache. Ich dachte auch Gott, ich muss mal gucken, aber ja, starke Sache. Auch da natürlich die Möglichkeit, mit Virtual Reality Brille zu fahren. Lars, du hast das auch mal gemacht, mit VR-Brille zu fahren. Das ist schon gewöhnungsbedürftig.
Also es sieht auf der einen Seite schon mal richtig gut aus, wenn du das machst. Du kannst aus dem Auto rausschauen, also wenn du anhältst, du siehst unten das Kies und du siehst Gras. Aber es gibt so zwei Ansichten. Entweder dir liegt es, du kommst da richtig gut mit klar, möchtest überhaupt nicht mehr vor irgendwelchen Monitoren sitzen, oder dir wird schlecht. Also es gibt nur diese zwei Möglichkeiten. Virtual Reality Brille, super genial, oder gar nichts.
Ja, werden wir uns auch mit Sicherheit mal anschauen im Laufe der nächsten noch 2,5 Tage. Hier hat man eben schon einen Blick drauf geworfen, Wave Italy von Real Racing Cars. Ja klar, natürlich geht man dann hin und holt die Pedale und die ganzen Systeme dann auch mehr oder minder 1:1 rüber. Werden wir auch mit Sicherheit dann, ich glaube morgen haben wir einen Termin mit denen, dass wir uns da die ganzen Sachen mal intensiver anschauen. Und das ist ja das Besondere der SimRacing Expo, dass man halt hingehen kann und sagt, okay, wir haben nicht nur tolle Aussteller, sondern die Aussteller, die bleiben seit Jahren treu, die sind dabei und die bieten natürlich den Zuschauern, den Fans einiges an, damit man eben mal ein bisschen selber mal erkunden kann, testen kann, fragen kann. Natürlich sind die Stände immer gut besetzt und die ganzen Repräsentanten, Medienbeauftragten oder Marketingbeauftragten sind natürlich dabei, um zu sagen, hier ihr könnt das so und so kaufen, da und da ist der Vertriebspartner für unsere Produkte. Wir gehen nochmal rüber in Richtung Assetto Corsa, weil, da hatten wir ja gesagt, da steht ja ein großes Programm heute Abend dann auf dem Programmpunkt, diese Neupräsentation der Assetto Corsa Competizione. Natürlich eines der Highlights, viele Fans, die darauf warten, auf Assetto Corsa. Und ich schaue mal, ob wir vielleicht den Marco erwischen oder irgendeinen von Assetto, der uns hier vielleicht ein paar Takte zu sagen kann, wie lange die Entwicklung war. Ist aber auch jetzt nicht ganz so organisch auf der Bühne ein bisschen sprechen. Wir können aber auch noch mal gerade an die Zeit nutzen, das ist dieser sogenannte Ringboulevard, hinten das Kino-Ringwerk, da kann man ganz so da kommt man rein, von da kommt hier rüber, hier gibt es dann diese SimRacing Expo, davon das sogenannte Racing Café, auch da gibt es wieder tolle Möglichkeiten, dann hier im gleichen Bereich des Boulevards, wenn man hier rüber schaut, das sind also nicht das sind die DAC-Gas, tolle Bilder erleben, ein bisschen weiter hinten noch Ausstellungsmöglichkeiten. Ja, von daher, hier haben wir einiges geboten. Verpflegung ist natürlich auch gesorgt für alles mögliche, Essensbuden, Fressbuden, alles da. Hinten gibt es ein Subway, es gibt noch andere Möglichkeiten. Also gerne hier zum Nürburgring kommen für alle, die jetzt am Livestream dabei sind. Das, denke ich mal, sollte mal so ein erster Einblick gewesen sein, von wegen, was läuft hier alles ab im Ringboulevard mit dieser riesengroßen Leinwand, wo natürlich die Fans sitzen können. Das sind mal locker Plätze für ungefähr 200 Leute, die da locker sitzen können, plus natürlich Stehplätze ohne Ende. Tolle Gelegenheit, sich das Ganze mal so ein bisschen aus der Nähe anzuschauen. Und kommt vorbei, schaut es euch an oder halt, wenn es ein bisschen zu weit ist, dann haltet es euch auf jeden Fall fest, für nächstes Jahr, für 2019, dann hier zum Nürburgring zu kommen. Ich hatte es angesprochen, heute Abend gibt es eine große Präsentation, da gibt es diesen Battle der Original-Blancpain-Fahrer, der Fahrer von Crassa Racing, die hier ein bisschen ihre eigene Competition fahren. Und da wird natürlich dann auch das Assetto Corsa Competizione, das neue Produkt, ein bisschen vorgestellt. Und das ist natürlich dann auch ein Highlight, ein ganz besonderes Highlight. Und was die Assetto Corsa Competizione angeht, diese neue, praktisch absolute Highlight-Präsentation, da haben wir einen kleinen Einspieler. Den schauen wir uns jetzt mal an in Sachen Assetto Corsa.
Development team would like to thank everybody for the love and support, and we will see you in game.
Ja, soweit also der Einspieler zum Thema Assetto Corsa Competition. Hier präsentieren und wir werden jetzt gleich mit dem Marco sprechen. Der sitzt hier in einem seiner Aktoracer Ich gehe jetzt einfach mal ganz dreist hier rein und hole mal den Marco. Only a few words, you're live on stage, and I see you're not only the developer and not only for marketing, you also like to play your, not play, to make your simulation the Assetto Corsa competition.
Yeah, definitely. We are glad to see that our game is the choice of many experience. And since we just released the first early access version of the game, is really good to see how it works on simulators like this. And it can also give us a lot of information about how to improve the game during the rest of the development. It's very good for both for experience, also for us as developers. And of course, I love this, so it's always a pleasure.
Let me translate, also er sagt natürlich, es ist auch für ihn eine tolle Sache zu sagen, wer kann auf einem hochwertigen Simulator von AutoRacer ja seine Assetto Corsa Kompetitionen aus das alles dann ja live testen. Es ist so viel, jeder hat was davon. Er kann den Simulator schön mit seinem Spiel kombinieren und der Simulator ist we will have a special celebration. The rule of some competition. What is definitely new in it? What is the new things in this competition?
As well as in some weather condition that were not able in a Assetto one. So we had the night, they went racing and so on. And we are very glad to see how people is appreciating all the work that's been done. We are in the middle of the development because we have still 6 months ahead. They will be very, very busy to very easy. So it's good for the gamers.
I think it is also a special thing to have it here at the Nürburgring. The debut, also together with the Grand Prix series right behind us, only 20 meters away from here. And I think this combination of Assetto Corsa competition and Grand Prix, this is a special place also here at the Nürburgring, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when we decided to join the Sim Expo this year, we decided also to choose the Nürburgring GP as the first track in the access program, just because we released the game two days ago. And we have the Black Paint GT series weekend here at the Nürburgring, as well as the Sim Expo, so we believe that it was the perfect match. Since the Nürburgring GP, Assetto Corsa 1 was one of the most older assets, graphical assets we had in the game, we wanted to show also to our community how we improved the game, the graphics, and also the car and track details. Just because we completely removed the Nürburgring track. And to me, being here is always special. Also because there is a not so famous ring not so far from here. I've been yesterday again, and it's always a pleasure to have so this is a very special place.
Also,
I've been more times here at the Nürburgring than in Monza. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. Also er sagt, er ist öfters am Nürburgring als in Monza als Italiener. Und natürlich war es für Assetto Corsa eine ganz klare eine Ehre eigentlich und eine tolle Zusammenkunft zu sagen, mit Blancpain das Ganze hier, diesen Release zu machen am Nürburgring, das Ganze zu präsentieren. Und für Assetto Corsa ein ganz, ganz neues Game, ist komplett neu aufgesetzt, hat nichts mehr mit dem Vorgänger zu tun. Es ist wirklich komplett neu mit Pirelli, mit Lamborghini, enge Zusammenarbeit, die da gemacht wurde. Yeah, tonight we will also see a kind of competition with the original drivers of the crosser team of Blancpain, and I think they're also really looking forward to have the new game.
I think so. We had some events during the season. We had been in Misano during the GP weekend, and then in Spa-Francorchamps for the 24-hour race. And we had many drivers coming to drive the simulators, and we got a lot of feedback from them and information that we put also in the game to make it even more effective. And we saw that there is a very good competition also between the drivers, because it's like in the real world. Anybody would be the last guy. So we'll see. I think that we'll have some fun tonight.
Also er sagt, es wird mit Sicherheit eine Menge Spaß geben und ich glaube, den Spaß sieht man ihn auch im Gesicht an. You're smiling all over your face and I think you're really happy to be here. And he said, you're happy to be here. And ja, also der Spaß, der ist definitiv vorhanden. For the fans, for the spectators here, I think they have also the chance to drive the new competition version. You have some places here for testing it, yeah?
Absolutely, there are a lot of exhibitors that are using both Assetto Corsa 1 and Competizione, and this is a good choice also because can allow people that don't own the game yet to have their first test and to see if they like it or not, and they can have a rough idea about what they can expect also in the next versions. So it's very good that they have the chance to try the game here for free and to define if they like it or not.
Ja, also es ist natürlich jeder Fan, jeder Besucher hier der SimRacing Expo gerne dazu eingeladen, zu einem der vielen Stände zu kommen, wo es das neue Competizione von Assetto Corsa auch gibt. Kann jeder umsonst mal testen, mal spielen und dann sich entscheiden, dann auch dann entsprechend dann ab nächste Woche zu kaufen. Ja, we will meet us again at I would say 7 p.m. Then we will have this great competition against the crosser drivers, and then yeah. Thank you very much, Marco, and see you again in around about 2 hours. Goodbye.
Dankeschön.
Ja, und damit, denke ich mal, gehen wir nochmal zurück und schauen mal, was das weitere Programm uns bietet. Wir haben gleich auch eine ganz interessante Sache aus Malta. Schauen wir uns gleich an. Marina, wir wären bereit. Als nächster Programmpunkt habe ich hier stehen auf meiner Liste World Pro Racing. Da habe ich mich eben gefragt, was ist World Pro Racing? Und dann wurde mir das von Marc Canerezzi ein bisschen erklärt. Und da habe ich gesagt, wow, das ist mal eine coole Sache. Und wer uns da ein bisschen mehr zu sagen kann, das ist der Justin. Hello Justin, please come to the stage. Nice to meet you. And I said to the crowd, I was a little bit surprised, what is World Pro Racing? And then Marc Canerezzi told me what it is. And I said, wow, amazing. What is it?
Well, World Pro Racing is coming from 3 motorsports events organizers. And we organize real motorsport events. And since I've been a hardcore gamer for a very long time, we are combining the real life racing with sim racing and giving opportunities to the drivers. In fact, I have a presentation on the screen that I will be explaining about it very shortly.
And for you, it was a good thing to say, we want to come to the Nürburgring because Nürburgring is a special place to make a release or to show what is World Pro Racing. What is so special about the Nürburgring and so special about the SimRacing Expo?
Yes, first of all, this is the first time that we came here, and also we have a team competing in the GT500, and therefore it was the best opportunity to give the incentive. Okay, give the incentive to the sim racers. So basically, this was the best opportunity for us to explain what we're doing. And we're giving something good to the sim racers, not just to have fun and enjoy it, just a game, which for us is not a game, it is a simulation. So we will going to give good prizes and a dream of a lifetime prizes to the sim racers.
I have to put it a little closer. Yeah, and it's a special thing, Nürburgring. It's your first time at the Nürburgring?
Yes, it's the first time, even on track as well. It's an amazing track. I've been driving it on various platforms virtually, but obviously if seeing it in real life, it's amazing.
It is Nordschleife. Ah. Hallo. Du see anderes Mikro vielleicht, oder? Okay, now it seems to be okay. Is he the Nordschleife in real so far?
No, only on YouTube.
I think it is a good time to, or this weekend, perhaps tomorrow, to the Nordschleife.
Definitely, we'll do it, yes.
And, okay, saying we have some technical problems. I would say thank you very much, World Pro Racing, to be here at the Nürburgring, to have your kind of celebration of SimRacing Expo. And yeah, nice to meet you and have a lot of fun here at the Nürburgring.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Dankeschön. Ja, und damit würde ich mal sagen, gehen wir zurück. Justin, one moment please. I just forgot, you have a presentation. And because I just heard it, that we will now see the presentation of you, and you will have to say some words, and please have it very close to you.
Yeah, of course. So, thank you very much, first of all, to the Sim Expo administration for allowing us giving us the opportunity to show you what we're offering to the sim racings out there. So, basically, as I said already, we are 3 motorsport events organizers, and we are combining real-life racing, sim racing, with real-life racing. And this is a huge opportunity to the sim racers on any type of platform. We will be organizing motorsport sim racing events and giving real-life motorsport prizes. We have an aim that we have an option to provide good incentives to the drivers, and this is our aim. Our aim is to remove the barrier between the children and the parents. Most of the parents do not give enough time to the sim racers to play, let's say play. But then when they grow up, they need to drive on a real simulator and eventually go into the real life. So we're closing that gap, that barrier between the parents and also the children. We are also reducing the gap between the sim racing and also real racing, because the expenses are quite huge comparing with sim racing into the real life races. So with our contacts that we have, me, Adrian and George, we are 3 people together, and George and Adrian are also live stewards, because in the sim racing we do live stewarding. We are closing that gap to real motorsport. So from our events, we're going to the real events with obviously our supporters that support us in what we're doing, obviously, in the sim racing scene. We are also increasing the jobs. In eSports, it's not just a game anymore. We need, in sim racing, engineers, marketing, PR, fitness. It's not just a game. So we are focusing on becoming a professional driver, not just having fun on a seat. And yes, I won a game today. No, we want to lead you to the next level of motorsport. We have created some events this year. We have launched a championship with Continental Cars Limited, who are the importers of Porsche in Malta. And the winner of this Porsche championship is going to win a real track experience at the at the Istanbul city track in Istanbul, the intercity track in Istanbul, and which costs quite a lot. And the overall winner is going to have this special experience, and it's a dream of a lifetime. We have also collaborated with Praga. Obviously, it's a motorsport car manufacturer. We created a Seat TTR championship, a summer championship, and also organized various sim racing events such as casual races to increase the community in a professional level. Next, talking about championships, we are going to launch a new championship in Assetto Corsa, which is the Grip G1 series. The winner of this championship is going to win a real-life full testing day at the Varano track in Italy. So everyone is invited. First of all, it's going to be on the Assetto Corsa platform, Assetto Corsa 1, and the winner will win a full testing day in this Formula car in Varano in Italy. So this is what we're offering. We are offering prizes, other prizes, but these are the top prizes that we can offer. And we're giving these incentives to any driver. You don't have to be the most professional driver in the world. If you have commitment and you are determined to race, yes, you can, and you can win this race. We have more other events. We have the Rapid Series, we have the special events coming up next year, and also other championships which we will collaborate with more other motorsport companies, thanks to them, because without them we cannot give these prizes. So thanks to all the sponsors that all these motorsport companies will help you start a career in real motorsport, thanks to sim racing as well, because you start from sim racing and you switch to real live racing. So we will be using most of the platforms, iRacing, rFactor 2, Assetto Corsa, Race Room. Thanks to them, obviously, because it's their platform, thanks to them, we are organizing these events and giving these impeccable prizes. These are dreams of a lifetime. So thank you very much for listening to us and see what we're doing. Our aim is to give you the best experience that you can ever have. So thanks to all the supporters,
Hello,
thanks to
please
all
tell
the
me your name.
sponsors that are giving us, helping us and
Emily.
giving you the experience that you deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Justin. Very amazing what you are doing in Malta, and then starting from Malta, I would say all over the world, going to Italy for this training. And ja, für diejenigen, die es noch ein bisschen übersetzt haben wollen, also aus Malta kommt die Gruppe World Pro Racing rund um den Justin, und die bieten da wirklich tolle Events an, tolle Competitions, die dann auch diesen Schritt machen in Richtung Real-Life Motor Racing. I think it's a small step only between sim racing and real sport, and you're going to close this little gap between sim racing and real racing. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you, and yeah, have a lot of fun. And ja, wer Interesse hat, kann sich gerne beim Justin melden. Er wird mit Sicherheit die gesamte Zeit hier bleiben und kann sich dann mal ein bisschen dafür interessieren, was in Sachen Sim-Racing auf Malta oder in Malta so alles machbar ist. Ja, wunderbare Sache. Danke an die Kollegen von World Pro Racing. Für mich war es eine neue Sache, und ja, ich fand es wirklich mal interessant, das auch zu sehen, dass es auch in Malta nicht unbedingt die Nummer 1 auf der Motorsport-Weltkarte, aber auch da mit Sicherheit einige tolle Events gibt in Sachen Simracing und in Sachen echter Motorsport. Ja, das soll es erstmal von der Bühne gewesen sein. Ich gebe jetzt, denke ich mal, ab in einen kurzen Werbespot und dann wird Lars Kutsche übernehmen mit dem nächsten Programmpunkt.
Und überall ist es laut auf diesen einzelnen Messeständen, überall wird gefahren, überall wird simuliert, so auch hier bei JCL SimRacing, die wir jetzt gleich einmal vorstellen möchten, die ich noch nicht so ganz von den letzten Jahren auf dem Schirm habe, aber auch hier sieht es verdammt interessant aus. Und wenn man schon so einen, ich sag mal, offiziellen Partner hat, wie den Porsche-Piloten Romain Dumas, dann werden wir gleich einige Fragen stellen können. Wir schauen uns erstmal alle zusammen auf der Großleinwand den Clip an, eine kurze Zusammenfassung, was JCL SimRacing macht. Viel Spaß! Das war der Imagefilm, da haben wir uns schon mal anschauen können, was es mit JCL SimRacing auf sich hat. Und da sind wir jetzt hier am Stand, ein Eckstand, wo man richtig viel Platz hat. Und da ich nicht ganz genau weiß, was JCL SimRacing macht, was man dieses Jahr 2018 für Neuigkeiten mitgebracht hat, habe ich mir die Sarah einmal geschnappt. Aus Frankreich. Da habe ich ein bisschen Glück gehabt mit der Sarah. Sie ist nämlich die Einzige, die der englischen Sprache mächtig ist. So, Sarah, welcome back at the Nürburgring. You told me it's the second time you joined this fair.
Yes, the second one, and I love it still, and I am going to be there, I think, a lot of years after also.
I think in sim racing, is it the biggest fair you are as a visitor?
I think this fair is really awesome. It's really important. You see everything that is evolution and about the sim racing and all the championships and the course going on. It's really impressive. I like it.
Also die Sarah sagt auch, das ist so mittlerweile die größte Messe, da muss man fast schon teilnehmen im Bereich Sim-Racing, im Bereich Virtual Racing. Alleine was man für Kontakt mit anderen Herstellern bekommt, mit anderen Ausstellern hier bekommt und was man alles Neues sieht. Sarah, you told me about a few new things 2018, so please, can you explain what is new on your booth?
All right, so like you saw in the video for the V4 Sim Racer, the ultimate one, we improved some things on that simulator. We improved the VR system with also an aeration on the people to make some fresh air. We also have still the quick adjustment for the pedal, the steering wheel, and the height of the steering wheel also. And
so let me shortly translate for all the German guys who are looking this video. Let us go a few meters. Sie sagt natürlich, was ist neu, was zeigen wir hier bei diesem Motion Simulator. Wir haben einige Sachen, die wir adaptiert haben, so zum Beispiel die VR-Brille, Virtual Reality. Er kann gar nichts sehen, er fühlt sich wie mittendrin in der Simulation. Was man auch neu gemacht hat, ist, dass du eine Frischluftzufuhr hier oben hast. Das merkt er, wenn ich die jetzt mal zuhalte. Aber auch damit versucht man, eine Simulation so realistisch wie möglich zu machen. Und das Dritte, was Sarah mir erklärt hat, ist es, dass man nicht immer nur die Beinlänge anpasst, dass man quasi, ob man klein oder groß ist, vernünftig hinter dem Lenkrad sitzt, die Pedalerie bedienen kann. Du kannst auch die Höhe verstellen und das ist so eine Art Alleinstellungsmerkmal, was man nicht bei jedem Simulatorenhersteller findet. Sarah, please tell me something about the software you can use on this simulator. Is it only one special software or can I say, I like to drive this or I like to drive this?
you can install the software you would like, and then you drive whichever track or car you would like on the software you decide. Each software has its own track and its own cars to propose you. Here, for example, it's an iRacing where it's a special track with a special car that we put for the challenge we have on right now, this weekend. We have a big challenge. So this, after you choose whatever you'd like, with the software you would like to install, you choose whatever you would like after.
Natürlich, und da geht eigentlich auch der Trend hin, wenn man mal sich hier auf der Messe umschaut, ist es möglich, mit jeder Software so einen Simulator zu betreiben. Da geht man auf die Kundenwünsche ein. In diesem speziellen Fall ist es iRacing, wo man an diesem Wochenende bei der 5. ADAC SimRacing Expo mitfährt. Aber wie gesagt, der Trend geht dahin, dass man speziell auf Kundenwünsche eingeht. I think, Sarah, this is a very special simulator. This is a motion simulator. This is a very expensive simulator. When we turn a little bit, you show some static seats. Tell us something about this.
So the first one right there is not only static. It's to show you that we made some possibilities affordable for other people that wants the braking sensation and the shifting change. Yeah. So this one, there is not the actuators, but it has its movement. If you put the actuators, it's to show you. Come on.
Yeah, maybe. If you want to take seats, please do it. No.
Like this. When the actuators are over here, you have the braking sensation and the shifting change. So this is to show people that everything is you have evolution in our products. For example, when you start with the static one, you can put it on top of this structure and have this one. Every aluminum profile structure can go on our V4 SimRacer to be on top of it and have the braking sensation and shifting change.
Also, jeder fängt einmal klein an und wenn du nicht gerade das Lenkrad an den Holztisch von Mutti schraubst und die Batterie unten drunter, bekommst du mit gleichbleibenden Aluminiumprofilsystemen vernünftige Basis, eine vernünftige Basis, um einmal statisch anzufangen. Du kannst aber in verschiedenen Komponenten nachrüsten, dass du mehr oder weniger eine Art Motion-Simulator draus baust. Du musst nicht jedes Mal den alten verkaufen oder in die Ecke stellen zum Verstauben, sondern du kannst Module aufrüsten, dass du Step für Step immer weiter in die Richtung von einem Motion Simulator gehst. So, Sarah, last question. Maybe I heard you're from France. This is a France company, but how can I get in contact with you?
You just write mail.
With your company, not only with you.
Yeah, with the company, you write us the mail, and me or Jean-Christophe or Eric or Stephen, we can answer you. Each one has his own specialty to answer you. I will take care of all that is secretary and orders and everything like this. Jean-Christophe and Eric will take care of all that is on measurement, special measurement, and Stefan is doing all that electronics for direct drive. We are our own direct drive.
So you can go to the internet, jcl-simracing.com. This is the easy way, but the easiest way is to watch you here at the fair and to talk to you. So I have a small woman in my ear, you can see it, and she said, you have to talk maybe 60 more seconds. So, why not? One last question. Tell me, what is special for you here in Germany at the famous Nürburgring?
What's special? All the people here, like to see everyone, even the other companies. It's really like a lot of a good how we can say that in English. You meet new people, you talk about everything, you see people and you see improvements, and that's what I love here. It's really different.
It's really different, and I think one special thing is here, not only at this fair, it's at the Nürburgring. We have SimRacing, the SimRacing Expo here at this fair, and directly over there we have real racing with the Blancpain Sprint Series. That's amazing. Sarah, thanks a lot, Sarah from JCL SimRacing to be faster zum zweiten Mal hier bei uns auf der SimRacing Expo in Folge nach der Premiere im letzten Jahr. Und ich frage mich die ganze Zeit, was geht denn drüben ab beim Qualifying? Und da übergebe ich jetzt einfach mal an unsere Fachkommentatoren, die den Blick drauf haben.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the third of 4 practice sessions in advance of the 2018 Porsche Sim Racing Cup. Will Vincent again here along with Connery Maddock. We also have a special guest for the next few minutes. It is the one, the only Mr. Jimmy Broadbent. How's it going, my man?
I miss this, Will. I miss our little introductions. You're always very nice to me. Yeah, it's pretty great to be here. I mean, the atmosphere here is more than I could have expected. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So you've spent some time in the last 48 hours, shall we say, with the guys at Redline. You're here today at Sim Racing Expo. You're here for the weekend. What are you going to be up to?
Milling around a lot. I'm sort of here just as a fan. Of course, I'll probably do a video of some sort, but it's just great to experience everything, all the different stands. There are so many different various stands and equipments everywhere, and I want to just get to try and experience them all.
So just having a look at a replay right now. This is Jack Sedgwick, and this was down into that very tight right-hander, turn number 1. We've seen a lot of people do that today. Jack is the fastest driver. He's 26 one-thousandths of a second ahead of Sebastian Job. But Connery, a lot of people's making that mistake, and that I think is going to be a crucial thing when we get to the races.
I think it could be down to what we talked about in the first practice session. Where these guys are on different equipment, or what are supposed to be different equipment for what they have back home. So even things like the pedals, like finding your braking point, finding the the right sensitivity, the right settings for your brake is very, very important. And into a heavy braking zone such as turn 1, you need that confidence on the brakes to get your car stopped and to take a good line through that corner.
We've got a new fastest driver. That is Fredrik Rasmussen, Mr. Freddy Rasmussen in the G2 eSports car, 127.463. Sebastian Job going wide there. Oh. And again, so many people's been doing that over the course of this weekend. That corner, mark it out. It's going to be the one that I think people are going to struggle with the most. On board with Jack Sedgwick in the number 34 machine is Connery in second place. Past start-finish line did not improve that last time, but as he comes in towards turn number 1, looking to do another fast lap.
Oh, look at that lock-up on the right front tyre. That's going to be a lot of lost time there for Jack Sedgwick as he heads his way through the Mercedes arena. He's still got a couple of laps to work with, as we will get a replay of that huge lockup. It's going to be that tyre is not going to be healthy at all over his flying lap here. So that's just an issue that he will have to manage as he tries to come top of this particular practice session. But the man who is top right now, Fredrik Rasmussen, of course, champion of this competition last year as well. So he is basically here to defend his championship.
Champion of a lot of things is Freddy Rasmussen. Sedgwick second place, Job in third. Job did a fantastic job in the last round of the VRS GT iRacing World Championship. Got a couple of other drivers here. Mark Elkerman in fourth place, Alexander Thieb in fifth, Jürgen Frank in sixth, and Darren Nowakowski in seventh place. It is worth noting, however, that the time that Freddie has set is not as fast as the time Beneke set in practice 1.
Yeah, I believe we saw a 127.2, I believe it was, for Maxim Beneke in his particular practice session. So Freddie is a couple of tenths off him right now, but of course, like we said in that first practice session, this is just time for the drivers to acclimatize to the setting, and we'll see outright pace tomorrow in qualifying to see where these guys will line up. But looking at Jack Sedgwick, he's back towards the P number 1 in practice right now. That's 0.4 of a second faster than Freddie.
And he's the first driver this weekend to get into the 126s. A 126.974 for Jack Sedgwick. That is phenomenal.
Faster than Max as well in practice 1. So he's showing absolute pace here. And, well, again, as we said, practice is practice. There could be some drivers taking it easy, some of them maybe trying to find the 100% out of the track. We'll only find out when it comes to tomorrow. This is just setting the stage for what happens over the weekend. But we also saw Jürgen Frank go up onto the board. 1.1 seconds behind your leader right now, P number 5. We're still, well, actually, we do have a lap time for David Nowakowski as well, 1.3 seconds. So these times are not as spread out as we saw in practice 1.
They're not. A lot of drivers still using that curb down at the NGK chicane. Jimmy, your thoughts about the Nürburgring as a racetrack, especially this shorter layout?
I've always very much enjoyed it around here, especially in this sort of car, your GT style cars, these Porsche Cup cars, these ones of memories. Yeah, especially for the curve, it's really throwing the curve around here, but as you can see, no ABS pieces, so you see people coming down and big old lock up on the front right. So easy to do that in any car, and it just shows you how much it's got to really pushing at the moment.
We've had another overshoot, that time Mark Elkerman, same corner. We need to like start a fund. Every time someone does that, we need to like put €1 in or something and save it up for the evening's entertainment.
It's basically the sim racing swear though. Whenever someone locks up down into turn number 1 at the Nürburgring, just has to put in €1, Let's see if Jack Sedgwick gets it right. There's a little bit of a twitch on entry there, but I don't think it was as catastrophic as his last attempt.
No, 2:45 to go in the third of 4 practice sessions. Jakes Berry and Scott Fountain will take you through practice number 4 in a few minutes time here from the legendary Nürburgring Nordschleife. Sedgwick, who's got the speedometer up for him right now, 180 kilometers an hour. As he slows it down, it's downhill off camber, and this is where you kind of go, you miss out. My favourite corner is the cast car, you're right.
Yeah, someone spun off ahead. I'm not exactly sure who that one was, but Jack, thankfully far enough behind that it didn't ruin his flying lap. Now coming towards the end of the lap, make sure you get up onto the curb on the exit there, trying to take a maximum amount out of the track as possible on the run down towards the MGK chicane, but we will get a replay. This was Sebastian Job actually having a couple of issues coming through the little bit of a section that's different from the GP circuit. This is the short layout, just trouble getting the power down, just tries the J-turn it back around, but not exactly successful in that one.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, that's one of the things. It's a bit like one of the corners at Barber Motorsports Park. It's downhill, off camber. Turn 7 at Barber is what I'm thinking of. Minute 30 to go. Sebastian Joe, speedometer's up for him. Crossing the start-finish line right now in 3rd place. And he's 8/10 back from Jack Sedgwick. Cross the start-finish line, remains in 3rd.
Yep, it does. Of course, not going to get much out of that lap since he did spin. So I think he just crossed line just in time to get another lap here. So as long as this one is clean and he doesn't get any incident points, he should be able to get another flying lap in. And he's about 4/10 of a second behind his teammate right now. So G2 are going to are having a very, very good showing at this moment in time. But Jack, where did that lap time come from? That's absolutely insane.
It's fantastic. Last question, Jimmy, before we let you go to your swarms of admirers. Who do you think is going to win this one? Beneke was fastest in terms of the pre-qualifying. Do you think he's going to win overall, or is it going to be Freddie Rasmussen retaining or someone else?
I got a sense of control, Freddie. I've had a couple of meetings with him before. He's like a very nice, very fast guy, very consistent guy as well. Can't say him, but of course, these guys are also close, and they're also fantastic at what they do.
Oh, drops around.
Again, same corner. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jimmy Broadbent. As we're going to say goodbye to him. That's another spin for Sebastian Joy.
Yeah.
And it's same corner, and he sometimes gets into the habit of that. Once he makes a mistake of that corner, he will do it again and again. Yeah,
we'll see it again on the screen. Just 2 tyres on the grass on the outside. There's actually, that wasn't the corner that they had an incident on. It's coming down into this right-hander down the hill. Down here, car just slides out. So the car just completely broke away with him. So Job perhaps not exactly happy with how that car is set up, and as a result, he won't get another flying lap in. We've got Alexander Thebe as well, heading his way around the racetrack, down onto the DRS straight, down towards the NGK chicane. Currently placed in 6th position, about 1.2 seconds behind your current session leader in Jack Sedgwick. So up into the NGK chicane, Alexander Thebe will go. Make sure you get that car stopped for those apexes as he skips over them, but into the Coca-Cola curve now for the final time for the driver of the number 8. Will he be able to improve on his position, as we won't quite know as we've cut to a replay of him going over those curbs?
Yeah, right over, and yeah, that would have been his lap invalidated anyway.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Most likely. So that pretty much is the end of this practice session. And the times are as follows. Jack Sedgwick, a 1:26.974, the fastest lap of the day so far. Frederick Rasmussen, about half a second back. Behind Max Beneke in terms of the overall standings, he will be in 3rd overall, 2nd in this session. We've got Sebastian Job, 3rd place, for Club UK and Ireland, and of course G2 eSports. Mark Elkerman in 4th place, and those 4 drivers within 1 second of each other. Jürgen Frank in 5th place, Alexander Thebe in 6th, and Darren Norkaski rounding out the 7 drivers that we've got up on our screen. Well, Connor, it's been an interesting afternoon so far.
Yeah. It has been. We've seen very good pace from Max Beneke. We've seen very good pace from Jack Sedgwick, setting the fastest time of the day so far. We still got another practice session to go, though, so that can all change. So join Jake Sperry and, of course, our other commentator for that, which I have completely forgotten the name of. I am very sorry.
Scott Fountain.
Scott Fountain, there we go. But yeah, I'm very pleased with what we've seen today. We've seen some drivers have a couple of issues as well, getting themselves adjusted. Sebastian Job definitely one to look out for in terms of keeping his consistency up when it comes to tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a lot of action. For those of you watching on YouTube, on Twitch TV, on the iRacing Esports Network, we've got it covered all weekend. We've got ourselves a stage talk that will start soon here at the SimRacing Expo, and that will feature World Pro Racing. In fact, nope, we've had that one already. So actually what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a real driver event, and that will be in about 50 minutes from now. And taking our broadcast booth away will be the one and only John Watson and the SRO team. They'll be commentating the same drivers they do on the racetrack in the virtual world.
Exactly, it'll be a pretty good experience for them as well, commentating our side of things. Usually, Will, when we talk about this, we talk about also wanting to have opportunities in the real world side of things as well, and this is time for the real world commentators to have that shot at sim racing as well.
Yeah, indeed, and of course tomorrow, we've got ourselves a lot of action. We have got ourselves the quarterfinals of the Porsche Sim Racing Trophy, and then the semi-finals and the finals, all in one day. Our coverage for the trophy, well, that will be at about just for 1 o'clock tomorrow. That will be 1 o'clock local, that is Central Eastern Time. That will be 12 p.m. in the UK or 11 a.m. GMT. Plenty of other things to take you through the day as well. Lots of really good stage talks, exhibitor talks here, Connery. Really gives a good feel of what is a growing event.
Yeah, exactly. It just grows year on year on year. We've got some other exhibitors as well showing their stuff, some other simulators as well, and it's just an absolutely brilliant atmosphere here. It's you just walk past some drivers that you know from particular top series, especially in iRacing and things like that, and it's real community feel as well. We all have this single interest, which is sim racing, and we want to see it grow in the fantastic way it has for the past couple of years.
Yeah, and then on Sunday we've got ourselves the virtual GT500 sponsored by ADAC team race, Connery. It's going to be very interesting because there are teams who have over the years run as one thing in one rig. All of the teams are going to have to do that this weekend, and driver setup is always a really fine thing. How are they going to adapt?
Exactly. It's basically finding the balance between all of your drivers that are going to be in the car. Of course, different drivers do have different driving styles, and it's just finding the balance between them so that you could at least attempt to make everyone in your team somewhat happy, even though none of them will be completely comfortable with what the setup is.
Yeah, so plenty of action going on over the course of this weekend. Just to run through those results one more time for this session. Jack Sedgwick was the fastest driver, 126.974. Second place, Frederick Rasmussen. Third place, Darren Nowakowski. Final thoughts, Connery.
It's just the absolute talent that we've seen today. It's going to be very, very close when it comes to qualifying tomorrow and the race tomorrow. I'm just looking forward to it, especially that mid-pack as well, with how tight it's been in these practice sessions. It's going to be battles all over the racetrack.
Yep, and we'll of course give a shout out to iRacing. They've got a fantastic stage if you are here at Sim Racing Expo. And also RaceSpot TV, you can check us out on Facebook /RaceSpot TV, at RaceSpot TV on the Twitter machine if you want to do so. You can come down, and as we said before, you can check out iRacing's artificial intelligence. For the first time, you can not just race against thousands and thousands of people online, you can also now have the chance to race against AI drivers. And I will tell you one thing, it's been fascinating to see how people have thought about that. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you all later on.
Ja, jetzt haben wir haben viel gehört über wir haben viel gehört über verschiedenste Arten der SimRacing Expo. Es gibt Aussteller von Hardware, es gibt Softwarehersteller, es gibt Competitions. Wir haben eine Firma hier, die im Prinzip allesamt miteinander verbindet. Das ist die Firma Sim Department. Und bevor wir mit dem Jens Prokop drüber sprechen, schauen wir uns erstmal einen kleinen Einspieler an. Ja, und somit hier am Stand von Sim Department, sorry. Jens Burkhardt, jetzt habe ich eben den Namen falsch, jetzt den Firmennamen falsch ausgesprochen, sei es drum, weil ich bin ein bisschen geflasht, was ihr alles anbietet. Ich bin eben rumgegangen, hatte so die ein oder anderen Interviews schon gehabt, die einen bieten Hardware an, die anderen bieten Software an, die nächsten organisieren ein Event. Du machst alles.
Ja, genau, wir machen einfach alles und erstmal schön, dass wir hier sein dürfen. Wir sind erstmal mit KTM hier, das ist unser Hauptthema heute hier, weil KTM bestreitet mit uns alles, was mit eSports zu tun hat. Wir sind der offizielle eSports-Partner. Wir veranstalten den offiziellen Crossbow-Battle, wo der Gewinner dann auch in einem realen Rookie-Car-Auto sitzen darf und dann einen Tag lang auf der Rennstrecke gecoacht wird. Der Gewinner vom letzten Jahr ist vor 2 Monaten gefahren. Ich habe ihn vorhin getroffen. Ich glaube, er grinst immer noch, weil es einfach ein ganz, ganz tolles Erlebnis ist. Das ist eben unser Einstieg gewesen, das aus unserer Leidenschaft und Organisation von Rennen, die wir auch privat gemacht haben, das eben in den kommerziellen Bereich zu tragen. Aber wie du schon sagst, wir haben das Ganze weiterentwickelt. Dann haben wir angefangen, Software zu entwickeln für Simlabs, für Remote-Steuerung von Simulatoren. Das auch, man kann es ja laut sagen, in Zusammenarbeit mit Porsche. Also wir haben diese Porsche-Simulatoren damit ausgestattet. Deshalb ist die Software auch weltweit im Einsatz diesbezüglich. Und das ist einfach so gewachsen.
Ja. Und wer sich jetzt interessiert, du hast es angesprochen, diese KTM-Crossbow-Sache, da kann man dann wirklich aus dem Sim-Racing-Bereich bis zum Original-Rennfahren kommen. Wer da Interesse hat, der kommt natürlich zu dir und du gibst ihm dann die Tipps, wo und wie man da weitermachen kann.
Absolut. Zum einen können wir Kontakte vermitteln, wie man Rookie Challenge fahren kann. Das kann man für relativ kleines Geld, kann man sich so ein Auto für ein Wochenende rennfertig mit Team und Reifen allem drum dann mieten und kann dann eben 2 Rennen am Wochenende fahren. Auch das können wir vermitteln. Deshalb sind wir hier. Ebenso werden wir jetzt im November anfangen mit der Ausschreibung für das nächste Online-Battle. Und auch da kann man Informationen hier bekommen oder auch uns über Facebook einfach folgen.
Ja, wunderbar. Also so viel schon mal zum Thema KTM Crossbow. Jetzt gehen wir mal ein bisschen rüber, weil du hast auch gesagt, ihr habt natürlich auch noch vieles mehr. Ihr bietet, und das sieht man schön hier auf eurem Stand von Sim Department, natürlich alles an. Software, Equipment, Events, Simlabs, Branding. Also im Prinzip bei euch, jeder, der sich für Simracing interessiert, der kann bei euch das komplette Paket abgedeckt bekommen.
Ich kriege auf jeden Fall eine Antwort. Was wir nicht können, können wir vermitteln. Dafür haben wir einfach viele Joint-Venture-Partner, Kooperationspartner, so eine Art Alliance, die wir da aufgebaut haben. Aber Kernpunkt hier ist eben unsere Software. Wir sehen einen kleinen Ausschnitt dort hinten, da ist eben so eine Live-Map-Karte, die dort läuft. Wir haben weiter unten so ein Remote-System, wo man eben komplette Simlabs fernbedienen kann. Man kann von einer zentralen Punkt aus 10, 12 Simulatoren gleichzeitig steuern, basierend auf Assetto Corsa Pro.
Und jetzt hast du gesagt, seit relativ kurzer Zeit erst mit dabei, ihr bietet auch Hardware an, also im Prinzip ein komplettes Motion Kit, so heißt es bei euch. Man sieht auch dann hier diese Ausschreibung und da habe ich eben schon mal so ein bisschen gestutzt. Ich denke, wow, 4.950 € ist jetzt wirklich ich würde mal sagen, sehr günstiger Einsteigerpreis. Also tolle Sache und ihr habt da einiges hier aufgebaut, zusammen auch mit dem Carsten Füllmer, dein Technikpartner, der auch jetzt gleich mal zu uns kommt. Was bietet ihr da? Da frage ich vielleicht am besten direkt den Carsten. Carsten, ihr seid jetzt auch aufgestellt in Sachen Hardware, ihr bietet einen kompletten Motion Kit an zu einem wirklich sensationell guten Preis. Was ist das Besondere an eurem Motion Kit?
Also wir haben hier ein sehr leises System und das ist verwendbar an eigentlich allen Aluminium-Rigs, die es so auf dem Markt gibt. Also wir sind darauf fixiert, dass wir halt Motion anbieten für bestehende Rigs, sodass, wenn jemand upgraden möchte, nicht ein neues Rig kaufen muss. Und das kann er hier mit diesem Kit halt machen.
Und das ist eine relativ neue Entwicklung. Seit wann seid ihr mit diesem Motion Kit auf dem Markt?
Also wir starten jetzt erst die Markteinführung. Es ist jetzt unser erster funktionierender Prototyp und das Ganze soll jetzt hier im Dauertest auch laufen, damit wir auch mehr Erkenntnisse sammeln können und Feedback sammeln können. Das wird alles dann in die Softwareentwicklung einfließen und dann können wir eigentlich auch schon Ende des Jahres damit an den Start gehen. Das Ganze ist dann auch CE-zertifiziert, sodass wir auch dort auf jeden Fall mit der Sicherheit auf der richtigen Seite sind.
Ja, Jens, und das Besondere hier bei der SimRacing Expo, wer Interesse hat, kommt zu euch, schaut sich das an, testet es und stellt natürlich auch dann die Fragen über Liefertermin etc. Kann er alles bei dir erfahren.
Absolut, absolut. Nochmal ganz kurz eingegriffen, unser Ziel war einfach, eine kostengünstige Lösung für den User zu finden, der zu Hause sitzt, in seinem Hobbyraum, so ein Alu-Rig schon hat und einfach Motion erleben möchte. Ich denke mal, die ganzen großen Lösungen sind erstens auch teuer, nicht schlechter, um Gottes Willen, aber eben auch sehr für den kommerziellen Markt gedacht, alleine schon aufgrund des Preises. Und wir wollten einfach eine Lösung haben für Leute, die einfach alles haben, die einen Rechner haben, die einen Monitor haben, die einen Rig haben und wollen Motion haben, können jetzt unser Kit erwerben und haben dann für einen relativ kleinen Euro, du hast es schon gesagt, eine ziemlich gute Lösung.
Ja,
Die Software, die wir verwenden fürs Motion, ist auch eine Eigenentwicklung. Auch da sind wir eben losgelöst von irgendwelchen kostenpflichtigen Softwares. Das ist ganz einfach zu lösen, auch basierend auf uns.
Ja, das hast du so schön angesprochen, für diejenigen, die das hobbymäßig machen. Und auch praktisch aus dem Bereich bist du auch gekommen. Du hast mir eben gesagt, vor 20 Jahren schon angefangen, hobbymäßig SimRacing zu machen oder damals noch Spiele zu machen und dann immer weiterentwickelt und hast dann eben so schön gesagt, aus dem Hobby einen Beruf gemacht.
Absolut. Also ich habe angefangen mit Grand Prix One. Also wenn du weißt, das kennst, kannst du dir vorstellen, wie lange das her ist. Und mein erstes Lenkrad bestand aus einem Bobbycar-Lenkrad, einem Drehpoti, Türscharniere und Schiebepotis. Und auch das hat funktioniert. Und aus dieser Leidenschaft hat man sich aber viel mit diesem Thema beschäftigt. Man hat viel gebastelt und hat irgendwann mal den Schritt jetzt in die Professionalität gemacht und Hobby zum Beruf gemacht. Vollkommen richtig.
Carsten, mit wie vielen Leuten seid ihr aufgestellt bei Sim Department?
Ich ja selber bin gar nicht Bestandteil von SimDepartment, das ist ja eine Kooperation. Ich bin ja von VTech als Einzelunternehmer und baue halt eben auch die Lenkräder und die andere Hardware. Das ist also eine Kooperation, ich mache mehr die technischen Support und wir sind hier jetzt quasi mit 4 Personen vor Ort.
Und Sim Department hat insgesamt wie viele Leute?
Wir sind zu dritt.
Und du hast es selber gesagt, aus dem Hobby Beruf gemacht. Und eben habe ich dir gesagt, alles, was im Rheinland mehr als einmal stattfindet, ist eine schöne Tradition. Also aus Tradition auch hier am Ring. Warum unbedingt die SimRacing Expo?
Was sonst? Wir reden hier von SimRacing, wir reden hier von einer Messe. Wir sind jetzt im 5. Jahr hier, glaube ich. Ich war jedes Jahr hier und ich war von Anfang an von diesem Thema begeistert, von der Location begeistert. Ich meine, das am Nürburgring zu machen, war für mich schon immer die perfekte Location. Die Professionalität, die wir im letzten Jahr schon erlebt haben und den Schritt in diesem Jahr. Ich meine, wir sehen es, es ist ausgebucht, das sieht alles deutlich professioneller nochmal aus. Wenn man sich präsentieren möchte, muss man hier sein.
Ja, das heißt, 2019 ist auch wieder hier, ne?
Ja, auf jeden Fall.
Ja, denn ich denke mal auch diese ganzen Competitions, du sagst selber, ihr bietet an diese Competition im Crossbow-Bereich, aber du guckst natürlich auch mit großem Interesse, was haben die anderen Mitbewerber, wird hier geboten in Sachen Competition und diese Porsche SimRacing nachher, dieser Wettkampf morgen, ist auch für dich ein Highlight dann.
Ich werde leider sicherlich wie immer zu wenig Zeit haben, das so intensiv zu beobachten, aber ich würde da gerne mitfahren. Ich bin zu schlecht, definitiv, aber an dieser Veranstaltung einfach teilzunehmen. Ich habe Leute gesprochen, die sich dafür qualifiziert haben. Das ist für die so ein Highlight, dabei zu sein. Und das, was hier aufgebaut wird, was mit diesem Team-Event, mit dem Einzel-Event, was zwischendurch gezeigt wird, ist toll. Einfach wirklich toll und spiegelt den SimRacing so wider, wie es sein sollte.
Ja, und vielleicht dann nochmal zum Abschluss dann noch der Hinweis für die uns jetzt am Livestream sehen und es nicht allzu weit zu haben, zum Nürburgring morgen hier hinkommen und die können auch gerne bei euch euer Motion Kit von SD Equipment auch gerne testen.
Ja, noch viel mehr. Wir werden sowohl Samstag als auch Sonntag einen Hotlap-Contest veranstalten. KTM hat diese wunderbaren, riesigen Gutscheine wieder zur Verfügung gestellt und die ersten 3 werden hier Preise mit nach Hause nehmen.
Ja, wunderbar. Dann bedanke ich mich beim Jens Purkott und beim Carsten Füllmer dafür, dass ihr hier seid mit dem KTM Crossbow und ja natürlich insgesamt mit eurer Firma Sim Department. Vielen herzlichen Dank und ihr habt Spaß die nächsten 2 Tage noch und wir werden uns mit Sicherheit oft über den Weg laufen hier. Dankeschön. Ja, das ist soweit vom Sim Department Stand hier im Bereich des Ringboulevards und ja, ich gebe dann zurück in die Regie.
Well, we are live here at SimRacing Expo 2018, the final practice session, fully in the mix, under 14 minutes to go here around the Nürburgring and the Kazambingdung layout here. Jake Sperry joined with Scott Fountain. Scott, we've got currently Maximilian Venig up on the fastest times, 1:28.614, and he takes a whole lot of cones here on what is going to have to be a practice lap, already 5 seconds off of the pace.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jake, this is going to be an amazing event. This is, my first time here at the Sim Expo. What a cool setup. I absolutely love it. And, what a better way to have some racing, what we've got in front of us today. So, yeah, the field is pretty tight at the top there. Not much separating the first 3 cars, really.
Not much more that you need to say. 4/10 splitting the top 4 drivers. Tom Valentini we were focusing on, but now to Sebastian Dunkel here in the Williams Jim Jr. car and looking to try and give himself a big push as he will flick the car right down the hill and then back up it once more. Looking at Dunkel, he's doing quite well in that 666 car. He's been always there or thereabouts. He's been a pro driver always up at that high level, and he is looking to try and go that one step further here at Sim Racing Expo, Scott.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Jake. It's incredible, really. Like, these guys, they don't have much time to practice. You've only got 15 minutes. It's a little bit different from what they're used to. You know, they're normally used to jumping on their own setups back at home, you know, racing in their own environment, and to come here today and you've got all the pressure of the guys behind you. I can only imagine what the heart rate of these guys is looking like right now.
Well, it's going to be very, very high. 9 drivers are in this final practice session. 3 drivers yet to set a time as of yet. They are Joni Tamala of G2 Racing, Graham Carroll of Team Redline, and David Williams of Coanda. Replay then up on screen of Maximilian Venig here, going slowly then, probably looking to build to a flying lap then in this situation, Scott. And it's worth noting here, these practice times do not mean anything at the moment. It is legitimately just one chance to get ahead of your rivals, which a lot of people need to do.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. And what we're talking about before, just the difference of being on your home setup, you get so much more of a feeling around, you know, what the other drivers are doing in this sort of situation. And, you know, you've got 15 minutes to get it done. This means nothing, so you get a whole feel for the car. You're on a completely different setup. So, you know, you really got to get your head around it so quickly.
The fastest lap time comes in, Moritz Lohner, 1:28.503, part of the Williams eSports team. And Williams have really come into sim racing over the last half a year. They've signed 15, 20 drivers for all sorts of different platforms, and they are looking to try and dominate as much as they can. Lohner, formerly of Huizing Veldcore Motorsports, a team that was 1 point away from winning the VRS GT World Championship in its debut season. This is a team to be fearing.
You're exactly right, Jake. We've got, five drivers out there from Williams, and yeah, they're really dominant here. We've got Maximilian Benecki. I was watching in the first race. He was very dominant when he was out there. He was much, much faster than a lot of the other guys. I am very interested to see how he goes today. When we normally race in the GT World Series, it's yeah, he's super fast, mate.
He is super fast, and well, Benecke of Pure Racing Team came out in the opening practice session, and he put himself top of the order. As just in front of me, I can see Maximilian Benecke himself, of course, always very, very humble, but a lot of drivers here have still looked at trying to put those times in. A 2-second difference we're seeing as Joni Tamala goes 3.7 seconds slower in 8th position right now. He's doing an okay job for the moment. Tamala isn't someone who really iRaces as much as he used to. He had a couple wins in the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series, Fonty, as we look at David Williams himself, a WCS driver in the McLaren MP430. Tamala has moved away, is now coming back for this big event, and G2 want to stamp their authority in and want to show that they are the best in the world on any platform.
You're exactly right. This is the place to do it. This is such an amazing event. If you can stamp your name to the top here, then what better way to finish off a season, really? So, you know, it's as you were saying, that Tamala, he stepped away from it. You can see he's not quite on the pace of what these front guys are, but he still has, 9.5 minutes left to go. Anything can happen for him.
And the gap is just 0.005 of a second. Moritz Lohner to Tom Valentini on board with Maximilian Venig. Got the graphic there powered by ATVO on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Third gear through the left-hand of the Mercedes-Benz Arena, down the hill, looking for that turn 3, which can always be an overtaking opportunity as he uses all of the curb and a little bit more for flicking it through that 90-degree right-hander turn number 4. Such a difficult corner, Scott. It feels like it's so much more turning than just 90 degrees.
You're exactly right, and with the steering lock on these cars is hard enough at the best of times. So this track in particular has a lot of tight turns, especially turn 1. I was doing a little bit of practice myself beforehand, and yeah, it's such a slow corner. You're literally full lock to get around there, and it's certainly a lot different to a lot of the other circuits that we visit.
Yes, certainly is. Just caught the gravel slightly coming out of the Vorsteiner curve. Now up the hill through Ad Van Bogen and looking to charge here to the tight left-right chicane at the top of the hill. You can see the marker boards on the right-hand side as we're right on the front nose as he flicks it up over left and right, making sure that he's not cutting the anti-cut curves, but he is heavily all over the curb on that left-hand side, almost riding it like a skateboarder as he looks to go for the final corner. Maximilian Venig, of course, part of that very, very strong Pure Racing team that won the Championship. And
Gone
just
faster.
like that, half a second says he is quicker than anybody else. But I think that the lap time was invalidated,
Yes.
so he will
Drop
not
the
go
wheel.
any quicker.
Drop the wheel somewhere, and that last corner there, Jake, is a really major opportunity to get it past the car. You set yourself up well coming into that left, then through the right, bang, you're going to throw it up the inside, get the job done. You can generally squeeze that car out wide, and it certainly makes it very hard when you're that trailing car to get past.
David Williams, then we focus on VRS Coanda SimSports, the inaugural champions in VRS GT, with Martin Kroenke, the reigning two-time champion when it comes to the iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series. He will charge to the line 129.172. That moves him up into fifth. Sebastian Dunkel, though, gets himself up to the pole, 128.020. And Scott, you're absolutely right. It's about when you set your times as well, not only how you set them. You set a time like that with 3 minutes left to go. Of course, we're talking 7 minutes now. They've got half the practice left to get this right. If you do it with 3 minutes to go, drivers do not have much time to respond.
No, you're exactly right. That's when you want to do it. If they're fast now, you can almost tell they're going to go faster. Now you can see, Jake, as they're coming through this turn, you can see the rubber starting to lay down. So is that going to make the track faster for these guys? We don't really know at this point. But I'm guessing we've got 6.5 minutes left to go, where we're going to see the time start to tumble. Once we get into the 127s, then it's going to be hard for guys to start going faster than that.
And we're looking at Moritz Lohner right now, and crucially, he is just behind Tom Valentini. Now, the next thing is draft, because if he's picking up a toe where other drivers aren't, we remember that Tom Valentini, part of the junior team in comparison to Moritz Lohner, who's part of the full brand Williams eSports side. Wouldn't you say, Scott, that looking at what's happening here, Lohner's getting a little bit of help right now from Valentini. He needs as much as he can get.
You're exactly right. Draft is such a massive thing in motorsport. In this section of the track where they're coming through, draft is going to be a big key player in this. So if you can get yourself, he probably needs to be that little bit closer to really take advantage of that draft. But if he can manage to get there closer, bang, he's going to get into that 127, no problem at all.
No troubles at all. One driver is yet to set a flying lap time. That is Graham Carroll in the number 9 machine. So for Graham, it's going to be a little bit of a wait. But Sebastian Dunkel, we focus on at the moment as Tom Valentini moves up into second position. The Luxembourgian doing a fantastic job, but he is still just a shade under 3/10 off of where he needs to be. Dunkel not on a flying lap here. We can see that from the times at the bottom of your screen. But right now, Max Venig is certainly on a lap time as he looks to charge himself to the left-right chicane.
There we go. Big bit of air. Chucks that left-hand side of the car up, and he's going to come down. Oh, it looks like he's slowing up. So he's trying to set himself up for a lap there, I think, as we're going to go on to the replay. Massive air as he hits that curb. See that left-hand side of the car really go up in the air.
Oh, and he just about has to slow it down. Maybe an incident point invalidating the lap. No reason to go on. I do see Graham Carroll on my right-hand side, not in the vehicle at all, so he will not be taking part then in this practice. But on board then with Joni Tamala here, part of G2 Racing, a brand new livery design as well. Of course, have left Fernando Alonso over the course of the past couple of weeks. So G2 now looking to charge. Tamala is currently 1.6 seconds off the quickest, but we look backwards. Yep, big improvement. He was a good 2 seconds he's managed to find over this course, but he's still got to find effectively another 2 seconds more.
Well, what he got? We've got 4 minutes left, so that's basically we're going to get two and a bit laps for him to improve his time. Don't know how many laps he's done around this track. Obviously, these guys have done plenty of practice in the past and understand the circuit, know where it's working. I'm not sure if it's reacting to these guys as bang, there we go. 127.75 for Lohner, so well done to him.
Well, he's just thrown the gauntlet down, has the Williams eSports driver. He's now got himself a good 2.5 gap over his nearest rival, Sebastian Dunkel, as Kei Kashubi moves up into 5th position on a time which is almost a second slower. And that's surprising for Kei Kashubi. He's often considered the greatest driver in that Williams eSports team. But Moritz Lohner is proving that he is not just a bit part player. He is every part out there to win, as there's a big lock of the brakes there from Moritz Lohner.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And is it the pressure of these guys racing in this land setup and just the difference in the surrounding of how, it all works, that is making the difference for Kei Kashubi. He's potentially not used to this type of driving. So, it's time's only going to tell.
And what's more important is the fact that once time expires, we are not stopping the clock there. They have until the end of their lap to consolidate their lap times, which is going to be crucial. Dunkel has moved quicker, but he is still a full 0.2 of a second off, 1:27.952, as we continue looking at the currently fastest in practice, Moritz Lohner, diving himself to the final corner. You always want to put the power down as early as possible, but the more that you wait and wait, the slower the lap time goes. David Williams moves up into third, but that's a 1:27.699. You're absolutely right. He is finding strength upon strength upon strength to go quicker.
You're exactly right. So there we can tell it right there, Jake, as the track is getting faster as the session's going on. The grip's going down. It's only making the tyres working better as we're seeing the big drift out of turn 1 there from Lohner.
Oh, you can see how much he's pushing. Another kick of the tail at turn number 2 as he enters the Mercedes-Benz arena. Absolutely doing a fantastic job at the moment of showing what he's got. The difference between David Williams, though, and Tom Valentini, 1/1000th of a second, Scott.
Absolutely nothing in it. There's nothing in it really for the whole field. We've got the last 2 cars that a little bit off the pace, but it's only a matter of them jumping on that gas a little bit earlier, getting on the brakes that little bit later, and I'm sure they're all going to be well up there very quickly.
Well, they certainly will do, as Tom Valentini finds some pace and moves just half a second behind now in third position. Exactly what he wants, as Dunkel lets the Williams eSports car just dive past him, and that will abandon his lap number 2. And of course, that's the number 1 driver, Moritz Lohner. Tactics in play then. He wants the draft off of Lohner, the quicker driver. Now, this is not where Moritz wants to be, but I think he's already pulled away that 1 second gap of draft, which he has desperately wanted.
You're exactly right, and it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
there we go, spin out.
That's Williams.
That is Williams.
Oh,
big
my
contact there.
Goodness me. David Williams head on with Sebastian Dunkel, and that will pretty much.
That's going to end his practice. Dunkel's going to finish up in P2 unless somebody else goes faster. We're under a minute of the session left to go, so those guys can pretty much hang up the boots for the rest of the night and look forward to tomorrow.
They certainly can, and of course tomorrow 4 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals and 1 final. But Sebastian Dunkel, we got this right in slow-mo, so this will take a little bit of time. The 666 coming through the chicane, and the worst thing about that is that David Williams is unsighted halfway through that section, so he gets that big bit of contact, and it's just bang! There's nothing you can do in that situation as Dunkel. You get the warning, but you don't know where the car is.
Yeah, well, you can just see on the screen up there now, Jake, that the car just in front of the one in front of us is that's where he's lost it. So you're pretty much blind at this point. Then he's going to come around. He's got absolutely nowhere to go, and then bang, we're going to see the contact. So he was very unfortunate there. I'm sure he was on a good lap until that point. He would have wanted to put it onto P1 just to finish off the day on a good pace, on a good note, but I'm sure that he's going to come back strong tomorrow.
Up and over went David Williams, and he will hope that there will be nothing like that for him in the race. But session time expires then here in Germany at the Nürburgring. David Williams should not be able to get out and get a quicker lap time. He's already a good 6 seconds off of the pace which he wants, and that's going to mean that his time will not go any quicker than a 1:28.3, which he has desperately been looking for. So Williams will not go any quicker here in this qualification, and that's going to be disappointing. Moritz Lohner, for the moment, as far as things stand and as far as we know, will stay at number 1 and will pretty much set the pace then and set a good warning to everybody else. Max Venig will not have enough time to go through, as we have ourselves not much time then, but I think that's pretty much going to be it here, Scott. I don't see anyone going quicker except maybe Kei Kashubi.
Yeah, Kei Kashubi, I would, as we spoke about before, Jake, I would expect him to be a little bit further up than this. He should be within that top 3, so I'm sure that just being on a whole different setup to what he's used to at home is just going to take that little bit to get used to, and come race time, he's going to be right there on the pace.
Dare you say a bag of sand?
Well, potentially there could be a big bag of sand in the boot of that Porsche. Yeah, I guess we're only going to find out tomorrow once the racing kicks off.
Practice then over. Moritz Lohner confirmed the fastest in practice group number 4. Sebastian Dunkel gets second position, with Tom Valentini making sure Williams, in some shade of form, are 1, 2 and 3. David Williams is in 4th position for Via Esquanda Simsport, with Maximilian Venig 5th and Kei Kashube 6th. Niels Koch 1.6 seconds off the pace in 7th, with Joni Tamala, the flying Finn himself, 8th overall, 1.9 seconds off of where he needed to be. One of the interesting things I saw in that practice, though, no red line drivers turned up, and this is all the practices as well, Scott. No Enzo Benito, no Graham Carroll. They are holding their cards very close to their chest.
Well, they certainly are. They're going to have to hope that they understand the sim setup, and jump in it and be fast. I know from my own experience, I can't jump in a sim that's foreign to me and be very quick, so potentially they're used to these sims, have done stuff. Maybe this is their own sort of similar setup that they have at home. But those guys, very interesting for them not to turn up and practice today. I feel that is probably not the most valuable thing that they could have done, because it's going to be hot competition tomorrow, and we've got fast guys here. So I feel that that's definitely a disadvantage for them.
It certainly is a big disadvantage, and they will need to adapt as quickly as possible. But not only that, though, setting a fastest time here in practice does not guarantee you results for the races, and it's not just the races. You've got to go through a quarterfinal, into a semi-final, into a final. You may be jumping in 2-3 times, different rigs every single time. That adaptability factor is so crucial for every single driver of the 40 that will be racing this one tomorrow.
And that's exactly why we've got these quality drivers here. They've qualified for this event. They can adapt themselves. Not so much to the sims, but to the cars themselves. It is such a hard thing to do, to be able to adapt yourself that quickly. I know I really struggle to adapt to something different, something so foreign. So, I think that we're going to probably see a different result to what we would normally see. Maybe someone might throw down the gauntlet and finish completely on top who we didn't expect to.
And not only that, you've got to talk about the pressure of this crowd as well. Of course, not many people here for the first practices, but when Saturday comes along and the big championship game comes into full effect, every eye looking at drivers, that can be overwhelming for some people.
Oh, I tell you what, it is so overwhelming, you don't have that in your own setup at home. You're sitting there, you've got you, yourself, maybe your family around. We've got hundreds of people here watching what you're doing. The pressure is immense.
It is absolutely crazy, but that's not the only thing that will be going on here at Sim Racing Expo, because you have to remember as well, on Sunday, the GT500, it was an absolute barnstormer last year, which saw Coanda win. But my goodness, if this Sim Racing Trophy here, presented by Porsche, is going to be anything to go by, Scott, we are in for an amazing weekend's worth of racing.
I tell you what, just the caliber of drivers. We've got Maximilian Benecki here, we've got Kei Kashube, we've got all of these top guys who we all know very well within the iRacing circles, and they're all here racing against each other today in a LAN event, which doesn't happen very often. So I'm super excited to see what this final race is going to bring.
Oh, I'm so excited as well, and you cannot get anywhere better than here. It's going to be huge for everyone to be watching. Not only that, everyone understands that they have to race at their highest level possible to try and get to where they want to. Of course, the reigning champion back this time for the Sim Racing Trophy, Frederick Rasmussen as well. He will certainly be someone to keep an eye out on, but that is pretty much all that we are going to be able to write here today on Friday. Make sure you come back on Saturday for the Porsche Sim Racing Trophy, because we will have 4 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and 1 final brought to you on the iRacing eSports network, as well as so much more to go. But for the time being, that's Scott Fountain on my right-hand side. I am Jake Sperry, and what a fantastic showcase we have been able to bring to you. Lohner has the advantage as he heads himself and going for everything to be done. We will see you on Saturday. See ya.
Und wenn der ich glaube jetzt, denn wenn der Chef himself, Mark Henneritzi vom ADAC, Mitinitiator der ADAC SimRacing, hier seine freie Zeit nimmt und im Simulator sitzt, dann muss das was Besonderes sein. Ist das was Besonderes? Ich denke ja, weil das sind auch Männer der ersten Stunde. Wir stellen euch die Firma Heusingfeld für alle, die sie nicht kennen, mal in einem kurzen Einspieler vor. Und dann nehme ich mir den Sven, weil er hat nämlich neue Produkte mitgebracht. Wenn ich meinen Kameramann so beobachte, dann sehen wir die Fußarbeit von Marc Henneritzi hier auf den Pedalen von Heusingfeld. Marc Henneritzi ja nicht nur ein hervorragender Mann, der organisieren kann. Rallye Deutschland fällt mir ein, der ADAC Truck Grand Prix oder auch Ideengeber und Initiator der ADAC SimRacing. Der ist schon Tourenwagen-Weltmeister geworden. Der Independence Trophy, der ist schon GT-Rennen gefahren, GT1, 2, 3 bis 8 drauf. Der weiß, wovon er redet. Der kennt also auch Qualität. Und während wir uns die Fußarbeit so ein bisschen angeschaut haben, möchte ich den Mann vorstellen, der hinter diesen Produkten steckt. From Heusingfeld, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sven. Welcome again here at this fair.
Thank you very much. It's the fourth year that we're here as an exhibitor. It's a great event and nice to see that it's growing every year. So really happy to be back again.
Er freut sich, hier zu sein, das haben wir schon häufiger gehört. 4. Mal in Folge, dass wir die Firma Heusingfeld begrüßen können. Und er sagt auch, es ist cool zu sehen, wie es Jahr für Jahr wächst und größer wird. I told all the people here around that you brought some new products with.
Yeah, that's correct. You want to take a look?
Yeah. Come on, Schmilles heißt mein Kameramann. In der Eifel hat ja jeder Zweite, der hier oben lebt, Spitznamen. Und wir positionieren uns einfach mal so, dass wir diese Sachen sehen können. Der Sven sprach gerade von neuen Produkten, die er mitgebracht hat. Und wie wir unschwer erkennen können, handelt es sich um pedals, clutch, brake and throttle. So, these are brand new. Please tell us something about this product.
Yeah, this new pedal set is called the Sim Pedal Sprint. It took a few years of time to develop this. It's a major improvement over previous pedals. They're more reliable. We made our own rubber compounds, own springs to adjust the perfect feeling of the pedal set. And next to a lot of mechanical adjustments, also comes with a large software suite now, which has options like a calibration wizard, but also very easy to adjust the output of every specific pedal. So
I think, Sven, step for step. Man hat eine Serie von Pedalen viele Jahre produziert, hat auch mit diesen Produkten lernen können, hat von den Kunden Rückmeldungen bekommen, was funktioniert gut, hat selber mitbekommen, was sind Verschleißteile und man sieht schon an diesen verschiedenen Pedalen, wo Heusingfeld Wert drauf legt. Man legt Wert drauf auf Stabilität, auf saubere Verarbeitung, auf kräftige Materialien, die auch wirklich den Bremsdruck aushalten, die auch, und das hat man getestet, bis zu 250.000 Mal immer denselben Druck bringen und die verbauten Federn, die verbauten Komponenten verschleißen nicht. So, this is mechanical and you told us about the brand new software. You can set the pedals.
Yeah, that's correct. Normally on sim racing pedals, they have a very linear output. So if you press the pedal, the output is also linear. But for example, some racing cars, you have a very aggressive clutch. You have to press the clutch a bit, it already disengages a bit. So with the new software, it's very easy to set curves and adjust every pedal individually. And you can also save profiles if you wanted to change a car. It's a few clicks of a mouse button and you have a new configuration on your pedal set. And this is really groundbreaking for the industry.
I think it's very professional and you can be proud when we turn, wenn wir uns einmal drehen. This is also a very famous and professional team competing in Formula One. And Williams Formula One compete in eSport.
Yes, we've become official supplier of the eSports team. I mean, the last year, eSports is really growing a lot. And if you compare to a few years ago, the competitions are getting bigger. So we're really proud that we're now associated with the eSports team of Williams. And it's a great step forward for us. And we look forward to be supporting their drivers with hopefully a lot of success, even this weekend, because they're entered in the competition here. So.
Die Formel 1 beschäftigt sich mit Simulatoren natürlich in erster Linie, begann das vor vielen Jahren oder vor einigen Jahren, um die eigenen Fahrzeuge schneller zu machen, um Testverbote zu umgehen, um parallel entwickeln zu können. Wie wir hier sehen, Williams, eines der ältesten Teams in der Formel 1, die treten im E-Sport-Bereich an, die treten im Sim-Racing-Bereich an und ich denke, hier gibt es eine ganz große ja, einen großen Techniktransfer, dass man mit den Fahrern redet, dass man mit dem Team redet. Was kann man noch verbessern? Das macht ein Formel-1-Fahrer auch mit seinem Team. Wie fühlt sich die Kupplung an? Wie reagiert die Bremse? Und das Ganze kann man im Bereich Sim-Racing adaptieren. So, schön, dass Sie zum 4. Mal wieder hier sind. Nice to have you here in 2018. These are the new products, Sim pedals from Heusingfeld. This is the new series Sprint. You are welcome here on the booth. You can ask every question you want. I have to say thank you, Sven. See you tomorrow. See you on Sunday. But I just want to have a look to Mark. Oh, ist gar nicht mehr Mark. Hat er heimlich gewechselt. Hat er einen anderen reingesetzt. Aber das ist ja das Schöne bei der SimRacing Expo, dass du eigentlich, und gerade heute am Freitag, nicht so riesenlange Wartezeiten hast, wenn dich irgendein Simulator interessiert, wenn du selber mal das Gefühl haben möchtest, was können so Simulatoren denn, beziehungsweise was kann denn ein Simulator, den ich mir vielleicht selber gar nicht leisten kann, wenn man sich hier mal eben umgeschaut hat, dass man auf jeden Fall hingeht und kann 40.000, 50.000 Euro teure Simulatoren testen, die sich halt nicht jeder leisten kann oder was man von der eigenen Freundin erlaubt bekommt. Schnellverstellung haben wir gerade gesehen. Kopfhörer wird aufgesetzt, dass ich mich hier komplett drauf konzentrieren kann. Also neue Produkte, qualitativ sehr hochwertig bei Heusingfeld. Und ich weiß nicht, ob meine Redakteurin im Ohr jetzt mit mir meckert, weil ich rübergebe. Aber irgendwie geht mir das Thema aus. Ich gebe jetzt zurück in die Regie. Bis gleich. Es ist ja nicht so, dass wir uns nur um den Nachwuchs kümmern, aber auch für den Nachwuchs ist natürlich alles gerichtet hier bei der ADAC SimRacing Expo. Man merkt, das hast du nicht zum ersten Mal gemacht, aber das funktioniert. Aber Olli, was wir so ein bisschen zeigen wollen, wir haben noch ein bisschen Zeit, bevor wir dann gleich wieder auf die Bühne gehen, dass die SimRacing Expo mehr ist wie Lenkräder, wie Pedale oder auch ein Monitor oder eine virtuelle Brille auf. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, inwieweit unser Kameramann mal hier runter schwenkt in die Arena. Die haben sich auch jedes Mal vergrößert.
Ja, definitiv. Das ist für mich auch ein ganz, ganz toller Event, diese RC-Car Competition hier. Wir sehen, es sind im Prinzip zwei verschiedene Strecken, die hier aufgebaut sind. Hier im vorderen Bereich mehr diese On-Road-Strecke, wo es wirklich um dieses ganz exakte Fahren geht, Ideallinie, die genau eingehalten werden muss. Hinten ist mehr dieser sogenannte Offroad-Bereich, wo man sieht, da springen die Autos durchaus mal so 3-4 Meter weit, so einen halben Meter hoch in der Luft, mit einer Steilkurve hinten drin. Absolut faszinierend. Und was ich eigentlich noch faszinierender finde, und ich denke mal, da kann der Willi bestimmt auch mal die ein oder andere Schwenk auf die Kamera machen. Ich gehe einfach mal hier ein paar Meter runter. Vielleicht kann der Willi die Kamera zumindest mal bis hier rübergehen. Das ist Teil des Fahrerlagers. Da unten ein Riesenbereich Fahrerlager. Und hier sehen wir auch dieses ja wirklich Fahrerlager der RC-Fahrer. Und wir sehen hier, was das für filigrane Arbeit ist. Mal ganz ehrlich, bist du gelernter Uhrmacher?
Do you speak English?
Okay, it's in English, but it's so kind of filigrane, and I think you're in your normal work, you're doing some watches, repairing watches or not?
No, not really. I'm not in that kind of job.
Yeah, but I mean it because you have to be very, you have to have small fingers and to make this really fine work.
Yeah, it's right. Very accurate. You have to be with all kind of details, doing the setup and everything. Yeah.
Also wirklich sehr, sehr filigrane Arbeit. Lars, für uns wäre das glaube ich nichts. So mit ganz feiner Arbeit, so fast wie ein Uhrmacher, ne?
Naja, ob das jetzt was für uns ist oder nicht, das ist Rennsport und schön zu sehen, dass das sehr technische Sachen sind, dass man hier wirklich auch wie der Mechaniker in der Boxengasse arbeiten muss. Ich kenne mich jetzt mit dem Reglement der einzelnen Serien nicht so aus, aber wenn du siehst, dass mit gefrästen Aluminiumteilen gearbeitet wird, hier hast du zum Beispiel einen Allradantrieb über diesen Zahnriemen, aber dass auch aus Gewichtsgründen, denke ich, Kohlefaserkomponenten verbaut werden, das ist schon die eine Sache. Und wenn ich mir dann, should I take this? Wenn ich mir dann so etwas anschaue, das sind dann Hilfsmittel, die kennen wir aus der Boxengasse, bei der VLN zum Beispiel in groß. Da kannst du Spur- und Sturzwerte der einzelnen Räder, der einzelnen Reifen noch mit einstellen. Spezialwerkzeug. Also ich glaube, die Jungs, die bauen schon einen halben Tag auf, bevor die das erste Mal die Strecke unter die Räder nehmen.
Perhaps one more question. How is the relation between pure driving time and working on your car?
Oh, maybe less than 1% driving.
Also er sagt, das ist ungefähr 1% fahren und der Rest der Zeit wirklich schrauben, basteln. But I think this is also what you really like, to prepare your own car.
That is 1% driving is only in the races like this, but when I go to the hobby club, I usually maybe 50% driving and 50% doing the car.
Okay, also bei normalen anderen Rennen ist es teilweise 50-50 so in etwa, aber hier wirklich sehr, sehr viel intensiv. Die Arbeit am Fahrzeug, wie der Lars das eben schon gesagt hat, sehr, sehr filigran mit Carbon, mit Einzelradaufhängung, also wirklich ganz, ganz tolle Sache. Ja, und dieser Event hier, diese RC-Cars, die werden wir morgen natürlich auch noch ein bisschen intensiver uns betrachten. Wir sehen, wie gesagt, unten die zwei verschiedenen Parcours. Wir werden da auch mit Sicherheit den einen oder anderen Gesprächspartner noch haben, werden dann noch mal fragen, welche Competition, welche Art von Wettkämpfen hier überhaupt vorhanden sind. Und alleine schon der Blick hier in dieses sogenannte Fahrerlager, hier überall mal zu schauen, wie hier gearbeitet wird, was die ganzen Jungs hier machen. Wirklich faszinierend. Hier sind so 8 Tische mit ungefähr 20 Leuten. Und ich weiß nicht, ob der Willi mit der Kamera, der geht jetzt mal gerne hier auch von Auto zu Auto, sich das wirklich mal genau betrachten. Und ich weiß es auch zum Beispiel vom Uwe Ball, dass der sowas ja schon seit vielen, vielen Jahren macht, was dafür wirklich Arbeit dahinter steckt und wie intensiv diese ganze Arbeit mitgemacht wird. Da unten auch jede Menge Tische, jede Menge Leute, die da wirklich an ihren RC-Cars arbeiten und dieses wirklich vorbereiten, um die Rennen hier zu machen. Wir werden es morgen ein bisschen intensiver betrachten und dann ja auch den einen oder anderen Gesprächspartner noch zusätzlich hinzunehmen. Und jetzt konzentrieren wir uns aber erstmal auf das neue Assetto Corsa Competizione und da gehen wir dann gleich in wenigen Minuten hoch zur Bühne. Dankeschön. war von mir. Ne? Sorry, Dankeschön.
Über die anderen Mikros, ne? Also Anmoderation, dann Einspieler, dann holen wir diesen Marco Mazzaruto.
Okay.
Green light, show them what you got.
Hi Marina, John Watson in the commentary booth alongside Bruce Jones and our producer from the SRO Blancpain Championship Series, Mike Scott. So I hope you're hearing me. Bruce is going to give you a quick word or three in a second now.
Hi Marina, Bruce Jones. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
That's John on microphone number 1, and microphone B, if you like, B is for Bruce. Can you hear us loud and clear? We can hear you.
Hello, Hello, Marina. Keep. Yes, keep talking, please. Keep talking.
Yes, we hear you loud and clear, Marina.
Well, she comes in and cuts in, and then we lose her again.
Hello, Marina. Hello, Marina. This is Bruce on microphone B, and John will talk on microphone A.
Hi, Marina. This is John on microphone A. I don't know if you're hearing us or not. We've got our microphones live, but nobody seems to be hearing a thing. Hello, Marina.
Hello, Marina. We can hear you when you talk, but you cannot hear us. Hello, Marina. This is Instant.
We're talking to you. Can you hear us? We're talking to you. Can you hear us?
Hello, Marina. This is Bruce talking from the international feed. We can hear you, but you cannot hear us. We will keep talking.
Hello. Keep talking, Bruce.
Hello, John. How are you today? We're sitting here waiting in this extravagant hall.
That's you there.
We can hear her, but she can't hear us.
No.
No, we can hear her.
We can hear her. She can't hear us.
Okay. Hello. Did we try that?
Here you can talk to her.
Hi, Marina. It's John Watson. We've tried to talk to you, hearing you, but we didn't know whether you were hearing us. Can you hear us now? I'm on the telephone line. Bruce is alongside me. Bruce speaking to Marina on the lazy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now?
How can I turn Marina down? She's too loud.
When you want to turn her down?
No, it's on there.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Right.
Okay, Marina, when we speak into the main microphone now without the lazy.
Hi, Marina. This is John on on microphone A. Alongside me is Bruce Jones. He's on microphone B. He's going to speak now.
Hello, Marina. Hopefully you can now hear us. We're not using the lazy.
Good, good, good. Excellent. We're going to keep talking. Oh,
Okay.
I've just turned my mic way up. That's good.
If
So I've
you're-
got
if
Bruce
you're
and
happy,
lovely.
if you're happy with John.
Are you happy with me, Marina?
Okay, and you happy with me on microphone B as well? This is Bruce. Hello, Marina. Could you just confirm it's okay with Bruce on microphone B?
You have to push on that.
Hello, Marina. Could you just confirm you're happy? You're happy with John on microphone A. Are you happy with my microphone, which is B? Okay, good. Ready to go then. Okay. Okay.
Think so. Yep, hopefully.
Yeah, bling ping. Back on stage during the SimRacing Expo 2080. Ollie, welcome again here on the stage, and we're looking forward for a brand new release. A brand new release together with Blancpain Sprint Series, and when I look to the big screen, I think we first have to look a small video, a small clip about the things that are coming. Would you take mine?
The new Assetto Corsa competition. We still have a real strong and good relationship between Nürburgring, ADAC SimRacing Expo, and also to the Blancpain series, to SRO. And now we have also this combination of a relationship also to Assetto Corsa. And to have a deeper look what is going on now with the new Assetto Corsa competition, we will have to discuss it with Marco Massaruto, and I would also like to welcome Mr. Stefan Rattel, the head of SRO. Very warm welcome to both of you.
Yeah, welcome on stage.
Let's take this one. Welcome, Mr. Rattel. Welcome, Marco. A few minutes ago, we spoke about the new Assetto Corsa competition. Now we have the partner from the other side, from Blancpain series. I think you told me it is a real good relationship to have now the official game of the Blancpain series. So you have to be very happy to be here together with Stefan Rattel, or not?
I could, brava, it's here, it works. I could be no more happy than that, even because we just released the game 2 days ago. Just 2 days ago we released the game, after 2 years in development. And you can imagine that has been a very tough work that is not finished yet, because we have 6 months in development ahead even now, but to see the reaction of the users, of the fans, of the community, about the game is very important to us, because it's so positive, that give us the energy and the will to work at our very best to complete the game. And the early access is also very important, because we can take advantage of it to share all the feedback from the users, get information about some bugs or things that they want to see
in the final version of the game, so that when I arrive at the end of the development on late March next year, we can bring them a game that is on the level of perfection, and we can give them, and also to Blancpain and SRO, the game that are looking for since a lot of time. So I'm very pleased to be here. After the SPA presentation, we got a lot of very good feedback for the game. That is meant a lot to us, because when we meet SRO for the first time and we proposed them to create the official game of the Blancpain GT series, they were very happy that Kuno Simulazioni came to them to bring this proposal. So looks like it's working.
But I have one question. You both call it a game. I think it's not a game. I think it's a simulation.
Yeah, it's a simulation. We always think about the game because it's sold on Steam. That is the main digital platform for video gaming on PC. So we talk about the game. We usually say that Assetto Corsa is a professional simulator that has been brought to the gaming audience. That is exactly like that, because when we designed it in 2011, we collected all the requests from companies like Ferrari, Porsche, Lamborghini and others that they wanted a simulator like Assetto Corsa 1. And in creating the simulator, we also create something that was good to please a wider community of the sim racers and the sim gamers.
Stefan Rattel, SRO. Thanks to have you here, and thanks to have you on stage.
It works.
Is it true you arrived just in this time at the Nürburgring?
I arrived just now, and I'm pleased to be here for this official launch because, as you can imagine, this game is a fantastic asset and promotion tool for GT racing in general and for the Blancpain GT series in particular. We all know how, whatever it's simulation or games, but one thing is sure that you have millions of players around the world. It's a very big industry, and it's for us to make GT racing known to a large audience and to a young audience is probably the best tool we can dream of.
What about you? You like to drive a simulation also? You're a professional in sim racing, or you say, oh no?
Unfortunately not. I'm lacking a little bit of time running around the world trying to promote racing, but when the game, I will definitely get a simulator and start playing with my son. He's coming tomorrow, and I'm sure he will help me do that.
Okay. A few minutes ago, we spoke with Mark Rizzi that the gap between sim racing and the real life racing is coming closer and closer and closer. And now we're going nearly hand in hand between sim racing and also the regular racing. We see 100 meters away from here. Do you think it's going this way?
It's exactly what I said when we had the press conference at the SPA 24 Hours when they presented the first footage of the game. I said, guys, if you continue like this, we're all going to stay home in a couple of years, you know, because it's becoming so real that, you know, but I think beside the joke, I think racing is racing and simulation is simulation. It's two different things, but it's getting very close and very exciting.
Yeah. And now I think it's a perfect place to have here the Nürburgring, the SimRacing Expo, fifth time now, together with the Blancpain series, and also to have the release, the launch of the new release. I think it's really perfect combination.
Yeah, and really congratulations to Mark Rizzi and his team, because they have really worked hard to make this Expo work together with the Blancpain GT series, and it does work. I see it grow year on year, and I see a very good future for this combination.
Definitely, definitely. No more words needed. I think, Marco, now we have a short presentation. So about this simulation, we have a short presentation. What is brand new? What does it take? Can we start with it? What do you think?
Assetto Corsa Competizione is a completely new brand because it's not just the official game of the Blancpain GT series, but it's not just a sequel of Assetto Corsa 1. It's a completely new technology because it is also powered by the Unreal Engine 4. That is the choice for the AAA games. And we changed completely our approach in the way how we close the product, not just the simulation, but also the product, because we wanted to make a product that can please a wider audience, also the new generation of sim gamers and racers that maybe don't have the chance to buy or purchase a steering wheel, and they want to start with a gamepad, and they want to be involved in sim racing. And but on the other side, we want to keep the experience as much genuine as possible and realistic as possible for the sim racers. So with Competizione, we focus not just on the physics and on the realism, but also on the competition. Competizione, of course, is an Italian term that means competition. And we'll create an overall competition also working with SRO and Blancpain next year to bring also the eSports on a new level. Just the fact that when you load any track in any game mode, also in hot lap or practice, when you load the track, you can see the name of the faster guy in the world on that track with that car that push you to give you the best of you to try to be the guy. And we are creating a rating system that will be very effective in the way how it helps the drivers to understand how to improve, where to improve their driving techniques, their lap times, and so on and so on. So what we want to do is not just to release a game on a season, but to bring a new model in the way how we produce sim racing. Another very new things we did is about the early access program, because we wanted to thanks the community, the overall community that with Assetto Corsa 1 supported us so much. So in the first release of Assetto Corsa Competizione, we provide also a pricing that is very, very good, because allowed everyone to get a game and to have to join the beta and to get the final version of the game with no additional charge, and is working a lot. Assetto Corsa Competizione in these 2 days is the most sold game on Steam. That is very important, not just for the revenues, but also because collecting a wider community makes the sim racing even better and even important for more people than just a niche of users.
I think we have in a few minutes the chance to look some professional drivers, because when I look here around, I see from Assetto,
yes,
no, from Grassa Racing, the guys who compete this weekend in Blancpain series. And I think we can invite the driver here on the stage, and maybe we have a few simulators later on. They can take a seat. Or what do you think, Ollie?
Yeah, but I think first of all we should have a short view at the trailer.
I think,
we have a real good trailer, and I would say
if we can send the trailer again, if possible.
Thank you very much.
Very, very perfect with all the weather conditions, and you can drive in the middle of the night like the 24-hour race here and on other tracks. But look at this. In one row, we have professional drivers, 4 professional drivers. Is that right? Maybe I invite you to come.
So please come to the stage. Yeah, these are the drivers of the Grassa Racing team. all drivers with Lamborghini, and what Marco told us before, that there was a, oh, it's okay, so okay, that it was a real good relationship with Lamborghini, also with Pirelli, and now we have 4 professional drivers. So I would say, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Ezequiel Companc. I drive the 19 Grasser Racing Team Lamborghini. And yeah, this season I've been doing Blampe in Endurance and Sprint, and also GT Masters. So yeah, really enjoying my time with the team. I think we're doing a mega job, and yeah, really happy to be here to test the Assetto Corsa new game. So really, really happy.
Yeah, I think the competition will start in a few minutes because you
already start competition.
Yeah, we already start the competition, but here at the simulators later on in a few minutes.
Hello everyone, I'm Andrea Caldarelli and I'm a Lamborghini factory driver together with Mirko and Christian. I drive this weekend with Eze on the 19 and usually I share the car 633 that you see on the game together with these 2 gentlemen here.
So, next year.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, only speak louder.
Okay, sorry. Very close to the mouse. Hi everyone, my name is Mirko Bortolotti. I'm a Lamborghini factory driver and yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for the invitation. It's a really special moment for us because as Andrea said, our car, the 63 Lamborghini Huracan GT3 is featured in the game and yeah, we are really motivated to drive our car, to drive our car in the game. It's quite a special feeling. So, yeah, I think the game is really, really cool and really special. I hope you guys like it as well. And yeah, it's your turn.
It's your turn. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, hi, my name is Christian Engelhardt. I'm also a Lamborghini driver. And actually this morning, or not this morning, but yesterday morning, I already had the opportunity to drive a little bit. The other guys did not, so I hope I have a small advantage. If I would have known that we would drive here before we came here, I would have done probably 100 laps, but like this I only did 10. I hope it's enough.
You said only one yesterday, now it's 10 laps.
So I think we have a small competition later on. You have the chance to drive 20 minutes, each one of you in a simulator, and then we have 1 hot lap later on, only 1 hot lap. You know the track, all the guys. We start in the Coca-Cola corner, and then the hot lap begin. And
let's go straight to 1 hot lap.
Yeah, and no. First 20 minutes, I think we want to look over your shoulder. And Ollie, I heard we have a very, very special commentator for this competition.
Yes, of course. It is Mr. or Sir John Watson, Formula 1 driver a few years ago. Yeah, welcome. I think he's the record holder in the Formula 1. He was the only one who had made this fantastic race starting from 22 and win the race 1982 in Long Beach, I think it was. Really
Definitely.
amazing.
Five victories. Nice to have you here. Thanks a lot. And I think we need one who can prepare the simulators, because each of the 4 drivers, they get one. We have 4 and 5, 6 and 7. For each of you, 20 minutes. And then you can show.
Let's see what's going on.
What you can show tomorrow and on Sunday.
Good luck.
Gentlemen, start your
Everybody.
engines. So, welcome to Mr. John Watson. Sir John Watson, nice to have you here at the Nürburgring. I think you was also a driver who did Formula 1 at the Nordschleife, the legendary Nordschleife. I think it was an amazing event, wasn't it? 3 times. Okay, wonderful. I think we should bring you a microphone.
Oh.
Hello. This is an amazing event. I've never been to anything like it in my life. I know Bruce Jones, who will be sharing the commentary with me during the period when the 2 Grasser Racing team drivers will be trying to replicate what they do on the racetrack with, I mean, an unbelievably impressive sim game. Their task well, Saturday and Sunday, I can assure you, is going to be much, much easier than that they're going to face tonight. And I suppose, Bruce, you and I are going to have maybe a little bit of poking fun, maybe. Try to be serious, but
I hope so,
a bit
John.
of fun at the four guys, because I know they're going to, you know what, with a screwdriver.
Of course. They will do what they do. They're racers after all. So as we've heard those famous words, gentlemen, start your engines. We'll, the four drivers up there, get ready to impress, but most importantly, get ready to beat their teammates, because that's what it's all about. Okay, ready to go?
Okay, now we just see that the drivers, the Lamborghini factory drivers are still preparing their cars. I think Mirko Bortolotti has chosen his own car, the number 63 Lamborghini Huracan GT3 with the new Assetto Corsa Competizione. Christian Engelhardt just
Bortolotti.
Preparing also
Engelhardt.
his seat, and he's just waiting. Oh, we see wonderful pictures of the Nürburgring here, right at the screen. Yeah, and then now we're just in this area here, preparing all simulators now.
Okay, as we can see, the drivers are now being placed into their simulators, getting to learn all the controls. On the left-hand side of the stage, number 4, Christian Engelhardt, number 5. Just to the left of the middle of the stage is Mirko Bortolotti. And their comrades in arms, Ezequiel Perez-Companc, Andrea Caldarelli, to the right-hand side of the main stage. And from what we can see, John, already, the graphics are absolutely phenomenal in this game, and I can't wait to see how it unravels as they go out around the circuit. 20 minutes of practice, but Christian Engelhardt, being the racer, said, let's go straight into the Super Pole. I think he's the one who has been practicing.
And I've no doubt that he has, and I'm sure the others have had a little look at some version or other of a sim race situation. But what stood out to me, as soon as I saw what I thought were actually pictures that we had commentated on from live feeds in previous events, was actually the product, the simulation of a Blancpain sprint or endurance event. I mean, it is just remarkable, the detail, the quality of it, and the accuracy.
Well, what we just saw was an amazing bit of footage which showed a car cornering while being rotated around by a camera, which is just, that is like rubbing your stomach and patting the top of your head at the same time. Too difficult to comprehend.
While we're watching these images, Mirko Bortolotti was actually trying to adjust the height of the steering column, steering wheel. You talk about the consummate professional racing driver, even in a game like this. I mean, this is meant to be fun, but it's taken seriously. And he wants to have everything that he's got his hands on, the foot controls, the hand controls. You can see him putting on the gear change, the little paddles. The movement is simulating what you would feel if you were driving that car, or as he will feel driving his car on Saturday and Sunday. And the steering inputs, the kickback, he's a left foot braker, as you can see, so flat out on the throttle, now off the throttle, on the brakes, very, very quickly adapting, because most drivers today, in one form or other, use simulation for preparation to come to an event, whether it's coming to Nürburgring. But look, the quality is just, I mean, I hope it's going to be like this tomorrow, as bright and clear as we're seeing on screen here.
Yeah, lovely dry track, but entirely so. Every opportunity you can take to get out there on a simulator has to be taken, because if you're not doing it, your rivals are. So they do know this, but the graphics are just really hitting me in the face. This rendition of the Nürburgring is just mighty. And I wonder how much grip he can feel through the simulator. That's one of the things over the years has changed and changed and changed. The feedback to the driver just has become phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that the sophistication now that's available to teams and drivers, you can generate certain kind of loads and feedback. If you don't have that, then of course you're turning the wheel and you don't really know whether it's turning until you can see then the actual image on your screen. But I mean, I've driven simulators a number of years ago, and I found it disorientating. I'm not a person of this generation, because all these drivers here today, before they probably ever got behind the wheel of a proper race car, were using simulation of some form or other back at home or some kind of club or whatever.
But I think it's not just that they can see what they're doing, that because of this they can absolutely feel what they're doing. It gives them that sort of native feedback that makes them such good racers. The balance and using all the track and that little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, up at turn 15, then into the final turn 16, on to pit straight. Key corner, of course, Bruce, on the 5.1 kilometre Nürburgring. It's the Grand Prix circuit. It's not the green hell, the old Nordschleife. So down pit straight, probably almost as quick as anywhere on the circuit other than the dog leg straight at the back. But here, the trick is to get into turn 1 and not overrun. It's very easy to make a mistake under braking into turn 1. And then you're going to be balancing the car here on the steering wheel and on the throttle, not abusing the tyre, because if you abuse your tyre, then the downside is you'll run out of grip and tyre before you come to the end of your given stint. But very, very quickly, Mirko Bortolotti is adapting to this simulation. I mean, running wide on the exit of turn 4, that's the real thing. They will be doing this for real come tomorrow and then Sunday.
And I must say, looking at the big screen, I almost want to reach in and brush the Alcantara suede top of the dashboard. It's just absolutely mighty, and there's so much information to take in through the display.
Second lap for Bortolotti, much better through turn 5, I think it was, or turn 6, down into the bottom of the hill. That overran under brakes, so he's got bits of the circuit where he's made corrections, overran coming down the hill, downhill braking, of course, so you're carrying speed, you're braking, the nose is going down, the back's coming up, and you don't want to be turning the wheel aggressively, you don't want the back end to snap away. Up through the Schumacher S's, you can see having to make a small correction. I think he should be in 5th gear here. He's not going quick enough at this point, but no doubt he'll pick up speed as he gets a little bit more experience with the simulation.
I mean, that knock off the top of the curb, it was just too much, but instant correction, as you'd expect from the driver of Mirko Bortolotti's standard through the wonderful kink. I just love the fact that nothing has been skipped on in the graphics to the left of the screen, where the Nordschleife goes off towards Hatzenbach. It's all there to be seen if you can take it in, but there's so much information on the screen for people to pick out that really they can analyse their own laps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of, I would say, ignorant of sim racing. I know that this year eSim racing has become a major growth, you might call it an industry. So their fastest lap of the session, 2 minutes and 1.8 seconds. I would expect that to come down pretty rapidly. If you imagine what they were doing today, there was, I think,
1 minute 54 was the best.
54 was the best. The lap record's at 56, but that's a lap record which is set in race conditions. The quickest lap will be much quicker than that, because that will be done in qualifying context with fresh rubber, a low fuel, and of course you're focused on just a single quick lap. Danger, of course, watching what Mirko's doing, he's now beginning to push it harder, maybe overdriving as a consequence. So he might feel that actually it's one of these situations where you want to be slightly slower into the corner, get your apex, then get on the throttle earlier, rather than trying to rush up into the corner, hard on the brakes, turn the wheel, and then overshoot.
Yeah, I think at the moment he's taking that sort of late 70s Gilles Villeneuve approach to pushing beyond and then coming back. Let's see how he manages down to the bottom of the hill to the hairpin. You saw him last lap going in too deep. This is a little bit better. On the left of the screen, Andrea Caldarelli, you can see how much his driver's seat is shaking around on the sim. He's trying to keep it all as steady as he can. Look at the concentration.
It's a concentration. I mean, I call Mirko Bortolotti, the number 63 Lamborghini driver, Mr. Never Blinks. Andrea Caldarelli hasn't blinked in the last 20 seconds, 30 seconds. You imagine not blinking and how much you do it unconsciously. Well, look at his face, look at the depth of concentration. And he's being sort of shaken and bumped around. You expect it in your race car, but here you're sitting in an exhibition centre behind the wheel of a simulator. I mean, utterly and totally different kind of context.
But I think one of the interesting things is how they, at this point, they're not thinking they're on the sim anymore. They're probably thinking, I'm in a racing car, I have to do everything exactly the same way. I've got to try and harvest any information I can get, and the more accurate, obviously, it is for them, the better. But I don't think there is differentiating at this point, because it is so incredibly accurate.
So this is on board with Andrea Caldarelli. I think, time down to 2 minutes, so there has been an improvement, significant improvement. But I think just watching what we're seeing from our commentary position, and of course what the drivers are seeing on the screens that are surrounding them, is that it is going to be, whoa. I was going to say slow in, quick out. That was a case of, well, the back end got away, the old pendulum effect, which of course we see frequently in racing, where once the back end loses adhesion, there's not an awful lot that you're going to do. And of course, a GT car weighing just over 1,000 kilograms, a lot of momentum. Once it goes, it's difficult to get it back into control.
Yeah, and there's quite a lot of camber on the corner just there where he wants to be again. Very good shot looking up to the footwell. Reminds me of those very early shots of the 1970s of rally drivers, Sandro Minari's dancing feet on the Colder Turini and Lancia. But now it's Ezekiel Perez-Compang.
Again, it's the focus and concentration. I love watching the eyes. We get this sometimes when we have onboard cameras in any of the cars that we're going to be covering on Saturday and Sunday, looking forward, or in this case, looking backwards into their eye, and just to see them again, how little blinking, that just is an indication how much depth and concentration they're actually having to put into this.
Interesting there, you can see Ezekiel looking at his screen. He's on the straight, he was looking up to the big screen above him as well and just smiling. This is such a good time, but at that point it was a less critical part of the circuit. He was able to do that thing they call blink.
But one thing that's evident to me is here are 4 drivers, totally different. Two from Italy, one from Germany, one from Argentina. And they've all got one thing in mind, that's to be quickest. Now, who is quickest in the real car in real time is a mute subject, but being quickest in this instance, in the simulation interest, it would be interesting to see which of the 4 actually comes out on top. And there may be a few bruised egos because, you know, you don't want your teammate or your car pairing to be quicker than you.
No, exactly so. The momentum into the weekend. We've had a day on the track, 2 practice sessions. Sprint finale already under their belt. 2 sessions, nice dry conditions. They've got dry conditions here. Again, I bet they're all thinking, okay, we've worked out the level of grip we've got in the dry. What's it going to be like when we come to wet weather on the cylinder?
Well, I'm just looking at the steering wheel, and there are adjustments on the steering wheel. Now, if there is wet weather, one of the things you can do on any of these GT3 cars that are racing here this weekend is you can adjust the ABS braking system, but likewise you can adjust the traction control. I haven't seen any of the 4 competitors so far start to make an adjustment, what the adjustments available are on the wheel. Whether they actually make any difference or not, I don't know. But the sophisticated simulators that are currently in use by teams around the world, you do make a difference. The whole point is being able to simulate what you're doing on the racetrack.
Yes, and in fact I think it's right. It's quite a hidden element of particularly Grand Prix teams, how much time and how much benefit they get from a young driver who's back there. But now they're bringing on people. I met some of those this year who won a sim competition. He's now a sim test driver. What an amazing promotion. Now they've said to help him get further knowledge, go race a car as well. So that's been a really, really worthwhile few thousand hours.
Yeah, I mean, the principle of sim racing and racing a race car, the 2 things are getting so close together, they're almost overlapping one another, and as more and more sophistication comes in to the sim racing products, I mean, and this is onboard scoring or timing, I mean, it is phenomenal. I mean, I'm a virgin when it comes to all this kind of technology. I mean, I had a look down just behind where we are now, down to the radio control racing hall. I mean, I just stood there in amazement. I mean, those people are doing, in effect, a sim race, but with actually a model car. So this is difficult. The other thing is, I think, to remind
I think it's a big question, John, that you don't have to understand technology. I tend to just appreciate it, but there are some people who just absolutely love to know how a set of courses has been put together, how many years it takes to develop, what elements came easily, which ones have really had to work out to get the level of realism, which is frankly like.
Well, the thing that stands out to me as being so realistic is what the hand movement from the drivers. The 159 was the last lap, and just you see those small little bits. But the steering wheel, when you're holding it, isn't always still in your hands. It can hunt around a little bit because of irregularities on the track surface, the width of the front wheel and tyre, having to make very snap adjustments to balancing the car on the steering and on the front. And you can see coming through 2 into turn 3, and then the turn 4, which is a key corner on this 5.1 kilometre circuit. Good exit this time out of turn 4, then the run down into turn 5. It's one of those cambered, heavily cambered corners down to the left. More about getting the car positioned, not for 5 as much here into turn 6, because again, it's an exit that you have to get right to get the run down the hill into turn 7, the hairpin bend at the lowest part of the circuit.
So Christian Engelhardt's working very, very hard indeed. King of race starts. So it's obviously going to be looking for an element. I've seen him do a standing start.
Do you know why he was a king of starts in Nürburgring? Because as the lead rows came up to under the red lights, at the point the lights went green, or the flag fell, whichever it happened to be, the front two rows actually were on their brakes, because I've seen a replay from Christian Engelhardt's car, and you can see the lights of the front two rows coming on, and he was on them, and that, I thought he had anticipated the start, but it was a perfectly legitimate, clean start. He just was on the throttle while the front two rows were on their brakes.
He must have loved the look of the brake lights.
It ain't rocket science, that's for sure.
Take a moment. So again, looking at the back, you see how the simulator brings them moving sideways, up and down, forward and back, really working hard. And again, the suspension on the driver's seat, transferring a lot of that information up into that most important driver's element, the back side of the road.
Well, every part of your body is a big nerve receptor. So feet, hand, your torso, I mean the seat of your pants literally, but also your entire trunk, your whole body is receiving information that the car's sending through every aspect of it as the car makes its way around a racetrack. And some people are much more receptive to it than others. And I mean, if you look at the greats of any category, of any form of motorsport in the world, they always had that ability, a good feel. You're just not somebody who can nail the throttle and just hang on for grim death.
Much tidier line than we saw early in the session. All of them, of course, with extra laps now starting to move their routes around the course out of Mercedes Arena. Very tidy, I think I'm still Christian Engelhardt on board with. Working way down the hill, so they learn very, very quickly. Obviously, they've been out of the real thing on the circuit twice today, but again, it's the level of feel that you can start to trust in the sim. How accurate is it? Maybe half a dozen laps in, I think they're getting into
Well, being somebody who is sort of from old school, and I'm talking about old school when we raced on the North Schleife, and you see where technology has evolved, first of all, in the real race car, but equally in the simulation. That if you can bring these two together, amalgamate them in a way where you could, in effect, do something which was never really possible when I began racing, which is to train a driver, you know, a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter, because you can take them and actually do something which was never part of what motorsport was about.
No, and it also means that there's no effective down season. Do as a racing driver, they can be on it 12 months a year, particularly
like the line through there. Now that was good. He got the curve perfectly correct on the entry, and he got it perfectly correct on the exit. Good entry into the final turn 16, off the curb, not running too wide. This ought to be his best lap to date. We've seen it, well, 58.4, we've seen a 59, that was his quickest lap we've seen. So time coming down, and that's what, just over 4 seconds away from the times that we saw earlier here today when they had 2 free practice sessions. In fact, the quickest in the FP1 was 154 point something, in FP2 was 155. So the simulator is coming within a very short space of time for these 4 competitors to within 4 or less seconds of what was achieved for real on the racetrack earlier on today.
What I'd like to know is how many of them have reached out and used the different buttons on the steering wheel, how many just going in fresh, as you will, just using the simple controls. Of course, they won't tell each other afterwards, they are racing drivers afterwards, but there must be many, many little tweaks you can use to just get what you want. But right now for them, it's about establishing the accuracy of the feel in the sim. Of course, all you sim fans around the world, I know that's how you do it. You fine-tune, you chip away.
I mean, look, they've been put in this cold turkey, so it will be about refinement, and I mean, the more time they spend in the simulator, the more they will make use of all the adjustments that are within. There's a drinks bottle there. I don't think there's any bottles of wine that will be refreshing themselves with. Whoa, Michael Schumacher, oh, bang, crash, wallop, and there we go. Well, that's about 720 by the looks of it altogether, 720 degree spin. The one thing I suppose is when you do that on the simulator, your race car, in theory, I don't know, is it damaged or not? It should be damaged. It should be on the back of a record to take it back to the pit. But it
didn't turn into the next corner, maybe. So was it? They were showing us Ezekiel Perez comeback. It was his car that took the battering. But yes, good question, John. How accurate is the level of damage that gets given to the car after it comes out? Will he be reporting to the pits to apologise to the team manager? Let's find out.
So he's going to continue on. Yes, he is going into the final turn. So that's just an illustration of what can happen. Normally you don't see people losing control up through the Schumacher, particularly on the exit of the Schumacher S's. And but of course, in conditions that can vary, of course, Nürburgring, weather conditions can be extremely variable. Right now, this weekend looks like it's going to be a real, what I would call Indian summer, up on the Ardennes. So maybe slightly offline, maybe a little bit of lack of grip. Just when you get half a wheel offline, you can just suddenly lose the back end of the car.
Yes, early in the session we saw Mirko Bortolotti trouting the curb on the inside. So he kept it all together. A quick flick and kept it in the straight and narrow. So just the final 3 or 4 minutes, and then their practice will have come to an end. And then Christian Engelhardt, Mirko Bortolotti, Andrea Caldarelli, and Ezekiel Kompang, drivers of the 63 and 19 racers respectively, will go out and they will do a super pole, one flying lap each to show us what they can do. Who has learned the fastest? So far the fastest lap we've seen is 1 minute 58.4, I think it was, from Mirko Bortolotti. That will be beaten, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, the only thing is, can they simulate a brand new set of Pirelli tyres? Can they simulate a low fuel load? Can they simulate all the other little minutiae that they might put into a car for a single fast lap? Or are they just going to go with the sort of out-of-the-box Lamborghini Huracan as it would have turned up in GT3, Blancpain Sprint or endurance condition?
And talking of,
I want the new tyres, Bruce. I don't want any excuses. No, I don't know, but how they're going to give them to these guys.
I'm just wondering how accurate it is in terms of if you just saw Ezekiel have a bit of a slide across the gravel into the barriers and continue. How accurate is it on this if you fit this stuff with the tyres? They can obviously easily simulate tyre wear.
Well, they can simulate tyre wear, I have no doubt, but interesting question.
The continuum.
Can they simulate a big lock-up where you've got flat spots that make the car steering vibrate so violently? Well, I remember here, way back in the 20s, Kimi Räikkönen coming down here in his McLaren that had so much vibration, the front suspension failed, underbraking at this point coming into turn 1, and he ended almost
final lap,
almost into the tyre ball on the outside. That was caused by a severe and aggressive flat spot. He tried to baby the car home and didn't get quite to the end. I mean, it was a very dramatic moment when that occurred.
It was a very gutsy drive, just came up short of that, right at the sharp end. Anyhow, the final few minutes of practice for our 4 Grasser Racing Team Lamborghini racers, out to see who will be top on the left-hand screen. There's Mirko Bortolotti. Now he's got one ear just out from, maybe he feels not as much sound in his head. Maybe he feels it keeps it more natural having one earpiece.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we all have different tweaks.
I know that I do that when I'm down in the pit lane doing an interview. I need to be able to hear what the driver's saying rather than having it the two headphones blocking out the reply to a question. They don't keep asking the same question.
No.
So anyway, Mirko's focus and concentration. I mean, I noticed in the real time in his 63 Lamborghini, the depth of concentration that Mirko Bortolotti displays was a revelation to me. And again, you're seeing it here as one would say maybe the lead driver of the all 4 in the 2 Grasser Racing Lamborghini Huracans that are here this weekend for the final round of the Blancpain Sprint Championship, part of the overall championship. The final overall will be in Barcelona in 2 weeks' time, which is an endurance round. So a lot up here for the teams to fight for.
There's another look there just from Christian Engelhardt as he comes to the end of his training run. So that's it for us for the moment, and we will come back when it comes to their Super Pole shootout. They will have learnt a lot.
I think they've learned a huge amount, but I tell you what, I don't know what you've learned, Bruce, but I'm just, blown away by the quality and just the ability to create a game which is so accurate to what is real thing.
Well, it'll be interesting to know what the drivers have found out so far. Hopefully we'll hear their thoughts, but they've been very, very intense. Going well.
Now they do the Super Pole. So,
yes, hello. So far, now we had...
Yeah, it's okay. You can hear me. That's fine. For this time, thanks a lot. And this was 20 minutes of free practice. And now we have only one simulator. And now we have simulator number 5. And we have, for all the drivers, for 4 drivers, each one hot lap. The hot lap means You begin at the Coca-Cola corner. That's maybe 150 or 200 meters before the start and finish line. One after the other. You can talk about who wants to start, who wants to be second or third or the last guy. And this is the simulator. These are the 4 drivers. A little bit there. Want to have a lot of more air. Was the last 20 minutes easy, or was it a little bit hard in the simulator?
I think it was expensive. I crashed a few times.
We all see.
No, I'm really impressed. First time I tried the game, and I'm really impressed because we just jumped out from the car just 2 hours ago, and it's really similar.
So it's a hard competition. It's not only a joke we are doing here with you. So who wants to start with his one and only hot lap? It's you. Please, this is your simulator. You can take it, but only for this one lap. No pressure. Do it slowly. Ollie, what do you think?
I think we have to give some pressure. What's about the slowest one had to invite the other ones for a dinner. Okay, so the slowest one has to invite all the others for a dinner. Okay?
That's nice.
No?
Okay, maybe for one beer, for one small beer, because we're in Germany, and no beer today, but on Sunday evening. So they're setting the simulator for this one hot lap. For this one and only hot lap. So Andrea Caldarelli is the first driver who will set the first time on this special hot lap. The other drivers are sitting in the first row. They are smiling. Now you're smiling, then you see his time.
Yeah, now it's blocked, to be honest, but no, I think it's really interesting. I'm looking forward to this shootout. It's you know, it's an internal competition within the team, so.
This is the Grasser racing car. You compete tomorrow and on Sunday. And now the first driver, Mr. John Watson, please.
So first one to roll is Andrea Caldarelli. Now, as Mirko Bortolotti got to turn the traction control off when he got out of that car earlier, but certainly from the outset, coming down to start finish by John Watson. Ready all the way. Will he be fastest come the end?
Well, he was a little bit wide coming out of turn 16, so he would have compromised to a small degree his speed down the pit straight. But here into turn 1, critical to get the nose of the Lamborghini into that apex. Pretty good exit, runs wide, but that's perfectly acceptable. Now balancing the car, steering and throttle through turn 2. It goes on and on and on, and then you've sort of got to wind the car back in again to get into turn 3, which is really, I said earlier, about getting the car prepared for this corner, turn 4, to get a good exit speed. Runs pretty wide on the exit, but there's no downside, other than it's a bit further in distance.
You see that as a message, your lap is not valid, you touch the track. I think that message keep going. All the drivers go wide after that corner, because it's all in their practice runs to do on the race circuit, and that's why it's realistic.
And Bruce,
we'll see if he gets given the wrong flag again.
The difference between doing it in practice, now doing it one lap only, is there's been 2 errors so far from Andrea Caldarelli that we have seen. So this lap may not actually, in terms of overall lap time, match those that he's done in that 20-minute practice session. He needs to calm down. A very quick turn as he enters the Schumacher S, his very quick left turn, snatching on the wheel, settles the car down on the exit now, the climb up the hill up into turns 10, 11. Careful not to run too wide, runs wide on 11, then coming through 12. Got to get the nose of the car in, runs way, way, way wide. This lap time ain't going to do Andrea an awful lot of favours, other than if all other three competitors make a similar kind of lap.
Well, we talked to John about the value of new tyres. It has been a little bit of a scrappy lap, but we'll see how the others get to the The target time should be best we saw so far in practice was 1 minute 58.4 seconds. Freitas is going to be, I think, just the wrong side of the 2 minute mark. Into the final corner again, the front washing wide. Andrea having to readjust around the start of the break. What's going to be on over 2 minutes?
It's going to be 2-2, 2-3. Well, it's 2 minutes flat, so the start finish line slightly further towards the exit of turn 16. I mean, the difference of doing a qualifying lap in a simulator actually is not a huge difference from doing it on the racetrack again. Now runs way, way wide and he's going to be flagged off. It's a difficult scenario. It's the first time he's done a proper qualifying run in a simulator with so little experience. And I know that all the others watching, they will have learned something. And I think what they will have learned is try not to overdrive. That was the thing that I felt Andrea did in the early phase of his one single flying lap, was maybe trying to push too hard, and in doing so then losing so much time. So Christian Engelhardt getting in behind the wheel, I'm assuming he's a bright lad. He'll hopefully have picked up a little bit of what was happening to Andrea Caldarelli, and he will make those adjustments. Wait and see. I mean, I might be entirely wrong. I might be doing a disservice to Andrea. I might be bigging up Christian because he's had that opportunity to watch one guy go.
I think it's got to be an advantage, but they're all teammates, know each other very well. They have their own internal competition. Of course they do. Look at the focus starting to come on. Look at those amazing graphics that Christian Engelhardt is looking at on the main screen.
Look at
the time is kicking off.
Look at the determination on his face. I mean, this is a game, but it ain't a game to these four guys. Watch the exit to see if he can make a cleaner exit. Much better, much better. He's got more speed even at this part before he starts the clock ticking. So down the hill, all the way up in fifth gear, hard on the brakes in a moment, then get that nose in. Oh, unstable under braking, and that looks like, he missed the apex completely and had to get out of the throttle and get the car back into a position to be able to take the exit without running off track.
Very interesting there, looking at the game. We keep talking about the driver's focus, but Christian didn't let that phase him. He had to get into the next bit of the corner.
Down to first gear as well, and not everybody else has been in second. So is that a change that was done, a nervous change, just simply putting the lever? Don't need to take first gear in turn 4 in my view, or certainly in turn 3.
Well, he might have seen that message that came on the screen when Caldarelli ran wide of that point. Saw the thing that said, well, that time has been invalidated. He stayed within the confines there, got the power down, fast acceleration, but using the lower gear, so down to exactly the same thing, down to the hairpin at the bottom. We saw a few of the drivers having real problems here in practice, but that is a very, very tidy lap.
Yeah, got the nose in correctly and kept the nose in and then let the car sweep out on the exit. Now up the hill into Schumacher, watch the nose, rides the curve on the inside, rides the curve on the exit, but gets through with speed and cleanness. So the early part of the lap, good on the exit out of the pit straight, a little bit not so good in the middle of that 2-3 sector. Now back and the rhythm is developing. Christian Engelhardt, I will be surprised if this lap is not a quicker lap than the one we've seen from Andrea Caldarelli just a moment ago.
I think so too. Top of the hill, before we go down and drop before the peak. You can see the car wanted to turn in, it was able to, when Caldarelli was there, the front wheel washing the way, really had to fight it, saw far too much gravel on the left-hand side. But up to the final corner, John, I don't know what the prediction's going to be. I think a 1 minute 58.
I think certainly it's at least a full second quicker. But, you know, as we're sitting here in the commentary booth, we're even further detached from reality. So 158.4, good lap by Christian Engelhardt. That's 2 seconds in effect quicker than we saw from Andrea. And he's actually taken 6th gear. First time I've seen, I think, 6th gear pull. Runs the curb and runs the grass coming down into turn 1, and he's come to a standstill. So his run's over. He'll be happy with 158.4. Good effort indeed. So who will be next? We've got either Ezequiel Perez Compact, who is the co-driver with Andrea Caldarelli, or Mirko Bortolotti. It looks like it's going to be Ezequiel going to go 3rd, and then ultimately Mirko Bortolotti, who, if you're a betting man, Bruce, how much would you put on Mirko going quicker than his co-driver in the 63 Lamborghini, Christian Engelhardt?
All of your money.
No, I don't have much with me, but actually, you know, it's very easy to think because Christian went second, he's therefore going to be automatically beaten by Mirko. That was a good lap.
It was a very good lap, and as you said, all the drivers after Andrea Caldarelli were watching Caldarelli's lap. Now Ezequiel Perez Compact Bortolotti have watched Christian's lap. They watch, they learn, and they hope they can deliver. But what we really saw was you don't want to push too hard into the final corners to start your flying lap. You've got to have a nice tidy turning.
Green light. Ezequiel Perez Compact is, I would say, one of the drivers over the past year and a bit who's really stepped forward. He's grown in confidence, his ability has developed as well. So he is, of the 4 drivers, the one who started from maybe at the lower threshold in a professional motor racing career. Now watch what he does. He takes a very wide entry, then cuts back to make the exit as clean as possible. Good thinking from Ezequiel Perez Compact to make the beginning of a lap as clean as possible. He's holding 5th gear, but he takes 6th gear down. Depends what the rev. He's just getting into the red on the rev cutter, but he's going to hold it down to 4th, 2nd. Gets the car in, the nose in, good entry, good exit, leaves a bit of space on the outside, doesn't overrun on the exit. No, his hands, elbows and everything, but he held it. For an Argentinian driver who only knows sunshine, that was a great save.
Nonsense has had the drive in Buenos Aires, but this is a circuit where he really had a breakthrough a couple of years ago. I think he took pole position here around that year. Like to try to stay on the track next time, please. Carry on, Ezequiel. Look quick, but I'd like to see a replay of those fighting hands up this into the Mercedes arena. And it all looks at 10 inches from gravel.
Yeah, he did a very good job actually keeping the car pointing in the right direction. So he's back once again down through the exit turn, 6 down the hill. And you can breathe momentarily, then hard on the brakes, get the nose in, don't try and go in too quickly. Good entry, good exit, very much in the vein that we saw one lap ago from Christian Engelhardt. Now up the hill, and this is an off-camber entry into the Schumacher chicane. Doesn't run the curve on the inside, just a little bit on the exit. So good run through. Now the climb up the hill and into turn 11.
Yeah, that was a much smoother run through the S's there. We saw from Christian Engelhardt in the curve on both sides, but Engelhardt has the fastest time so far. Will that mistake in the Mercedes arena where we saw Ezequiel's hands spinning like crazy in front, but we can see the shadow, which is clearly Engelhardt's car, the green target, not catching, if anything, that's just slightly pulling away, so the ventilation has gone red.
Oh, and that's not going to help either. I mean, look, even he's laughing at it because he knows that for real, that he's blown it. Probably blew it down at turn 3, and again, just in the exit, just slapping it, you know, one way, then the other way under the throttle. So 159.2.
Good lap considering, but he did
8/10 of a second. Yeah, yes, he did 8/10 of a second away. So the potential for a quick lap from Ezequiel Perez Compact clearly very much there. Now, final run will be with Mirko Bortolotti. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to beat his own teammate. And he saw what Ezequiel did, and there were lots of arms and elbows, and probably often on the throttle. We can't get the sort of the simulated engine note. But watch Mirko getting in. He'll make probably a few little further adjustments to get the steering, to get everything the way he wants, to be comfortable. I did it today in my rental car leaving Frankfurt, and it is actually very important. It makes a big difference, because if you're comfortable in the car and all the controls are precisely where you want them, not somebody else's, and you jump in and you throw the keys at them and let them drive the car. So Mirko will maybe want to make a little adjustment or 3. I'm assuming he's done that. Maybe not. It doesn't look like he's doing too much.
What tunes do you reckon he's got in these headphones?
What tunes? He likes house.
House, does he?
Whatever that is, he likes it. He'd asked him once in the grid.
I remember.
He walks around with the cans on and he's listening to whatever. I said, what are you listening to? I mean, is it something, you know, proper black rock, or, you know, maybe old 70s Genesis, Pink Floyd, you know, whatever.
It was whale music, wasn't it?
I asked him, was it whale? I thought he was getting sort of in the groove.
Yeah. Well, he is now. Look at him. Yeah. Check the motion in the seats. This is play. This is life or death. Mirko Bortolotti. Will he be the fastest of the Grasser quartet?
He will be a disappointed.
Green light. Right. Go. Going to run through the times. Andrea Caldarelli, 2 minutes and 0.6 seconds. Christian Engelhardt, 1 minute 58.4. Ezequiel Perez Compact, 1 minute 59.2. So into the setup corner, if you will, onto the start-finish straight comes the fourth of 4 Lamborghini drivers. It's Mirko Bortolotti Watch the eyes. Blinking. That's because he hasn't crossed the start finish line. Now he has no blinks from here.
No, and a little look down at the controls just to see what the reading was giving him out. So on the brakes into turn one, needs to get that nose in, get it in tight for the curve, runs slightly wide in the exit, gets back again to the right hand side before you draw the car into this never-ending turn three. And the car kind of gets light in the exit, and then before you know it, and all of a sudden, and it is all over for Mirko. Not quite, but look, you can see how far behind he is already from the time that was set by his teammate.
But again, that was Christian Engelhardt's car.
Yeah.
You see the green thing, he was the only one that stayed within the parameters of the circuit on turn 4. When it goes red, you see.
There's no doubt
it's getting away, and green means you're catching.
I don't know what, I assume it is that. Anyway, there is what we believe to be Christian Engelhardt's apparent car, which would be the best part of maybe at this point second. Now watch what happens to Mirko. I mean, pretty good, I have to say. Nothing I would want to change about his entry and exit out of turn 7 up the hill. Watch how much curve he takes on the entry into the Schumacher chicane. Rides it quite heavily and rides it again on the exit out of 7 and 8, then up the hill through 9, then on the brakes.
Okay, red means you're catching it, probably because it's braking, green means
yes,
pulling away.
So the gap between the two maybe coming back fractionally. The problem is the time that Christian Engelhardt set was set early in the lap, and now it's going to be almost impossible with what's 3 corners remaining for Mirko Bortolotti to do anything about going back, and he might not even manage to equal the time that of Ezekiel Perez contact.
I think he might even get behind that record already, but again, it looks like he's closed up at the final corner, so we're trying to right from the front of his brake, I'm afraid. One messy corner comes down to Christian Engelhardt, with no mistakes, why he's the fastest of the quartet. 1 minute 59.79 seconds, so
He'll be
bronze medal for Mirko Bortolotti.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed, as will everybody except Christian Engelhardt, who
Ezekiel Perez compact second
time.
fastest, and the fastest Christian Engelhardt. Congratulations to Christian on home ground.
Well, it's the 63 car pairing that have won, so they'll be jointly happy with that. But I mean, it just goes to show that actually what you do in real time in the real race car and what you do in the simulator, while it can overlap, it is so easy to overdrive. And you know, Mirko Bortolotti does not make those errors when he's driving the race car, but doing it in the simulator, it's a matter of making that adaptation and adjustment to get the best out of the simulator.
Well, I think it was also, we saw earlier in the practice, 1 minute 58.4. So that's it from us in the commentary box from Bruce Jones and John Watson. Back up to the main stage, and congratulations, drivers.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Come on, Ollie.
And Lars, I think we still have got a winner. And Marco, would you please come as the, I would say, brand director from Assetto Corsa? And the winner is Christian Engelhardt.
Yes, give a big hand. Christian, well done. Your first competition on Friday.
Congratulations.
And on second position, Ezequiel Perez, come on. And, okay, Compact. Second position, but with the best smile in the simulator. And the best chicane I've ever seen. And on third position, Andrea Caldarelli. No? Ah, Mirko's lap was not valid. He smashed the car, 1 million. Okay, come on, together.
I think both of them have third place.
Grasser Racing.
But the main
Thanks a
important
lot.
thing, was it amazing?
Yeah, I really didn't expect. It was very, like, congratulations for the game, because it's very realistic. Yeah, I was very impressed about it.
Okay, but Mirko, tomorrow you will not have so many crashes like today.
Hopefully not. That's not the goal. Yeah. Christian was quicker today. That's not good. So tomorrow we'll have revenge.
Yeah, tomorrow it's good for me. No, it's great. Thanks to you guys for doing this, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. And yeah, happy to be here.
So in the real car, you're smiling like this, we've seen?
Yeah, of course. When I'm in the car, it's like I'm enjoying, and you could see it here. Every time I get behind the wheel, it's like, yeah, smile goes up, and yeah, always pushing, like in the chicane.
Okay, thanks to Grosser Racing, boys. Enjoy the weekend at the Nürburgring during the Blancpain Series. Thanks to Marco Mazzaruto for this brand new simulation.
Thank you very
want,
much.
we see tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., 9 o'clock in the morning, and I think we end this day with one more small commercial break. Thanks, take care, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Goodbye.